You're watching the Yes Network, the home of champions.
You know, the Red Sox series doesn't end the season. There's another series. That's right. The Blue Jays are in town to meet the Yankees for 3, and the fans are filing in, and they're feeling good about things. Those two gentlemen hit home runs yesterday, not the kids. The name's on the back. As today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the first of 3 from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Well, what did the sweep of the Red Sox do? It gave the Yankees a 6.5 game lead in the American League East, and that is a comfortable lead, to say the least. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. Yes, they have 3 games against the Blue Jays, but for a while they could bask in the glory of taking the Red Sox 4 straight. They had come into that series 0-8 against the Red Sox, and they showed, hey, we're just as good as you, and they're starting to pull away in the American League East. So if you didn't catch all of the games, we'll share some highlights as we move along. Paul, what does this series mean to the Yankees, the 4 games against the Sox?
Well, they had come into the series not really sure how they stacked up, but if you look at the highlights, they're going to be all Yankee highlights. I mean, they beat him in the low-scoring games. They beat him in the high-scoring game. They out-hit him. They out-pitched him. And I tell you one thing, there was a great feeling in New York watching the Boston Red Sox go home after being swept for 4 games.
And that was a big play in Saturday's game. CC Sabathia was great. Then yesterday, the back-to-back home runs. Johnny Damon and Mark Teixeira raced a 2-1 Red Sox lead, and the Yankees are feeling good about things right now. A Thursday win, a Friday win, a Saturday and a Sunday win. So they're 6.5 games ahead. Now, I guess the question is, did the Yankees put the Red Sox to sleep?
No, I hope they don't feel that way, because they made up 4 games. They're 6.5, but there's a lot of games to go. The Boston Red Sox are going to be there all year long, right to the end, I believe. And if they think that, that's when you get complacent, and that's not a way to think. I don't believe that the Yankees are thinking that.
All right, let's take a look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup for this game against the Blue Jays. Mark Zepchinski, 1-3 with a 3.74 ERA against Sergio Mitre, 1-0 with a 7.50. Mitre catches a break because Alex Rios was traded before the game. We'll discuss that as we move along. A lot of great moments for the Yankees against the Red Sox. Will they be complacent? We'll talk about that with Al Leiter next on Yes. Weekend for the A's, one they'll remember for a while. The first 8 games against the Red Sox, they did not get a win. They had 267 as a team, scored about 4 runs a game, had a high ERA. Look what they did in the last 4. 4-0, almost a 300 batting average, 6.3 runs per game. Most importantly, the ERA, 1.71. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Yankees baseball. That's Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. Paul O'Neill will rejoin us in just a moment. Al, the question is this. Yankees have a 6.5 game lead right now. How do they avoid a letdown? Normal letdown.
Well, Derek Jeter has to have a good at bat. Sergio Mitre has to go out and have a scoreless inning. I could see the concern in some degree after all of the hype for this great series that they had in sweeping the Red Sox. But this is a veteran team, Michael. I don't really see a letdown. If you want a letdown, I see the letdown as a team that was here together as a group that didn't make the playoffs last year. I think they're hungry. I think they have a lot of guys that have been there before and know that what they experienced last year by not playing in the postseason is something enough for them to drive them to go to where they think they're going to go. They got the best record in baseball. I don't see a letdown.
We'll see if it turns out. They got 3 games against the Blue Jays coming up right here. Well, coming up immediately, lineup, first pitch, baseball. Yankees, Blue Jays next on Yes. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Raymore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Oh, it's a hot one here at the stadium today, that's for sure. High humidity temperatures today in the city in the 90s. And the Yankees are as hot as the weather as they continue to win, coming off the 4-game sweep of their arch rivals, the Boston Red Sox. Well, they have to keep it going now as they will go up against the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's Sergio Mitre, and this will be the lineup that Sergio is going to face, as put together by Cito Gaston. Marco Scutero, the shortstop, will lead off. Look at what he's done the last 15 games. Talk about hot. Aaron Hill, the second baseman, will bat second, batting third, and DHing Adam Lynn. Lyle Overbase at first base. He'll clean up, batting fifth and playing center field, Vernon Wells. Jose Bautista is in right field. He'll bat sixth, batting seventh, playing third base, Edwin Encarnacion. Rod Barajas will catch. He'll bat eighth and batting ninth, and playing left field is Joe England.
And on the mound for the Yankees, 28-year-old right-hander Sergio Mitre. This will be his fifth start. You see the high ERA, 7.5. Oh, not good. 18 innings, 32 hits. That's an awful lot of hits. Let's take a look at the pitcher scatter report. In sync. He's got his sinker on. He's got a very devastating sinker down the zone and a good slider. We'll watch for that early on. It's single to death. I just showed you those 32 hits. We saw 32 hits in the 18 innings, only 5 of them for extra base hits. So he's been giving up a lot of singles. And hanging Chad, well, they went out and traded for Chad Godin, and Chad Godin with the Padres has been at 20 games this year, and he's started 19 of them. So we'll see how the Yankees play here as the season winds out with their fifth starter.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Sergio Mitre. A little bit different. You've got Jerry Hairston Jr. in left, Melky Cabrera in center, Swisher is in right, infield Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira third to first, and Molina's behind the plate with Mitre in the mound. Hairston making his second start in left with the Yankees. He is versatile, left, right, all the infield positions. He can play center in a pinch as well. Well, the Yankees have been red hot at home. They are 13-1 in their last 14 games, and this is this young fella's first game, so he wants to see the winning continue. Marco Scutaro is ready. Sergio Mitre is ready, and let's do it here in the Bronx. Mitre deals, and the first pitch is a strike, and we are underway. If you just joined us, the Blue Jays made a trade with the White Sox, trading Alex Rios to Chicago. Rios was in the original lineup. The 0-1 is foul back, 0-2. Now, they tried to get Rios through waivers. He was claimed by Chicago. Now, the Toronto Blue Jays could say, just take him. They're trying to shed salary. And Rios is due $65 million over the next 5 years, which is a lot of money for that team. So they get rid of him by trading him to the White Sox, and he's a pretty good player. He has not lived up to what they expected, but still a pretty good player. The 0-2 popped up, first base side. Giving chase is Teixeira, and it's out of play. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
Well, you mentioned a pretty good player. I think for the longest time, people across baseball waited for Alex Rios to emerge as a star. 24 home runs, 85 RBIs a couple years ago. But I agree, Michael. I think they just became impatient with a guy who's only 28 years old. He's not even really in his prime yet.
Breaking ball, strike three. Scutaro down looking.
That waiver wire thing, it's kind of a cat and mouse game. There's been so many guys, and you see Mitre on the strike three. Breaking ball kind of backs up, frees the Scooter after seeing that sinker in. But the waiver wire thing is doesn't necessarily you're always going to get rid of the guy, but I mean it's almost like you can pull him off. And sometimes teams will just claim guys so other teams don't get him, and it's almost like, well, you want him now, go ahead and take him. And it doesn't always. There's really not a surefire way to figure out if teams really want to get rid of guys or not.
Aaron Hill takes the pitch inside, and that was the difficulty in this, because Rios has value.
Yep.
I mean, he's considered a pretty good player. Yes, in this market he's probably overpaid, but once the Blue Jays put him through waivers, if you didn't want him to go to somebody else, you grabbed him. You also ran the risk of taking on that salary. Now, I don't know if the White Sox wanted him. Maybe the Blue Jays just said, hey, you could have him. But giving up a player of that talent level for nothing also is questionable.
Well, but they may have gotten a player. We're not sure who they got.
Not sure who they got yet.
Yeah.
The 1-1. Breaking ball strike. Hey, listen, if they got a player, he wasn't the equal of Alex Rios.
No, but from walking around back, I heard that they didn't get anything. They just picked up the salary, which is, I mean, don't take my word for it as being final, but that's what the rumor was, and that doesn't always happen when you're talking about getting rid of guys of his talent.
The 1-2. And it's good for the Yankees because Rios has always hurt them, so they don't have to meet him in this 3-game set. And they also will not face Roy Halladay in any of the 3 games. So when it's going good, it's going good. The 1-2. Swing and miss. Hill down on strike. So Mitre starts out the first inning with 2 Ks.
Well, the first one was a breaking ball to Scutaro. This is a sinker, boring back down in on Hill. Good pitch.
Well, you see where Molina's setting up. That's that pitch that if it was hit in the glove, he'd set up a way for that to be a give-up pitch. But it just shows you the late movement. Aaron Hill's a heck of a player. The importance for a pitcher to have late movement, especially sinking. Keep the ball in the park.
Here's Adam Lind having a big season. The DH takes a pitch low.
You know, here's an example of a guy who, by feeling comfortable, got called back up. Cito Gas, and this was last year, said, look, you're going to play every day. I'm not going to mess with you. Just go out and do your thing, as Cito has done so well over the years.
That one is laced into left field. It's a base hit. Cutting over Jerry Hairston Jr., and he'll hold Lind to a single. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. It's hot. I don't care what the numbers say. 89 degrees, 57% humidity. Wind is 10 miles per hour. It's hot, and it's muggy.
It's muggy. We haven't seen muggy in a while. Huh?
I don't like muggy.
You don't like muggy?
I'd rather not see muggy. Nice piece of hitting there by Lynn, just taking the outside pitch the other way.
No UV on night games, Michael?
We try to get it, but that information is forthcoming.
I'll have you know that I saw it today, and it's down to 0.
Really? Pitch to Lyle Overbay is a strike. Paul, are you over the 15 innings on Friday? Because I know that wiped you out a bit.
I was not only worried about myself, but you too, man. You struggled.
No.
That was Kenny and I was struggling. You were. That's right. you were our anchor. From 12 on, we weren't into double figures, but you did well.
The 0-1.
I tell you what, I have not talked more baseball since I've been in town the last couple of years than over this weekend. People were excited. People were talking about those long games, the way they ended. Baseball was in the air, and that's the way it should be when the Boston Red Sox leave here.
I was looking at the ratings today, and at one point toward midnight, 26% of all TVs in the New York area were tuned into the Yankees game. That's why everybody knew you ate yogurt at the end.
Gets you nervous when that many people are listening?
I don't like to think about it.
Get a little stage fright.
He loves it. You kidding me?
I just where do you get numbers? Like, where do you find ratings?
I just ask people, did you listen?
MichaelK.com.
He's disappointed. 26.
And the 2-1. 3-1 to Overbay. Vernon Wells is on deck.
He's got a big salary, big contract. Also, talking about the waiver wire, the guys that they're determine teams that are out of it or look like they're rebuilding. You can save some payroll.
Base hit up the middle. Lynn will round second. He's going to go to third. Melky comes up throwing into second. And the Blue Jays have runners on the corners with 2 outs. And this seems to be the pattern of Mitre. They'll start off, they'll look okay, and then the team's going to score a run in the first inning.
Right, well, look what this ball is. It's middle and up in the zone. That's not a spot for a sinker ball pitcher. And as he did with Scutaro and also Hill, he got ahead and was able to get him out. He threw a slider, nasty slider to Scutaro.
They've scored in all 4 of his starts during the first inning.
It's hard to imagine if you watch the first 2 batters, strikeout, then all of a sudden, 2 bullets, and here you are. You think it's going to be an easy inning, and the next thing, you've got Vernon Wells up there, who's their RBI guy, with an opportunity to drive in some runs.
Well, how was your approach to a guy that was primarily a sinker ball pitcher with an occasional slider?
Yeah, well, as a left-handed hitter, you always knew down in the count you were going to try to hit the ball to left field, and if you could cover that sinker away, then you could almost dare him to throw that ball inside. So I think it has a lot to do with your natural stroke, and my natural stroke is to hit righties the other way. So until they show you inside that they want to throw strikes in there, you're leaning out over that plate trying to handle that sinker.
Count 0-1 on Wells. Wells 6 for his last 18th inning, just .259. Count 1-1. Let's take a look at the umpires. We've got Paul Schreiber behind the plate. Paul Nowert is at first. The veteran crew chief Joe West at second, and Ed Rapuano is at third.
Rapuano in the unusual throwing out of somebody as center fielder with the Phillies and Shane Victorino. Did you guys see that?
No. I saw it. I still can't understand it.
He was home plate. Phillies pitcher threw a ball and he throws his hands up.
Like, where is that
center fielder, throws the center fielder out.
No.
Never seen that before.
Slow roller and a foul ball. That's looking for trouble, though. That's something you can ignore.
He's a good, and he's a good guy. He's a good umpire. I think that was a little too sensitive.
Did Victorino lose it after that?
Yeah. I don't think he bumped him.
No, his teammates kept him away. He was good at it.
And the 1-2. 2-2. Wells is hitting just 189 with runners in scoring position this year. They're really disappointed in him. He makes top dollar, and they thought that he was going to continue to be one of the prime center fielders in baseball, but he has really dropped. And his salary is pretty much unmovable. The 2-2. Swung on a miss, and that average goes down. So Mitre strikes out the side in the first inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left. Blue Jays nothing in the New York. Send out against Mark Sepchinski, the left-hander for the Blue Jays. Yankees are 27 games over 500. Derek Jeter, the captain, the shortstop, leads off. Batting second and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira at first base is going to hit third. Cleaning up and playing third base, Alex Rodriguez. Jorge Posada will DH. He'll bat fifth. Big numbers in August so far. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat sixth. Batting seventh and playing left field, Jerry Hairston Jr. Melky Cabrera's in center field, hitting eighth. Batting ninth and catching is Jose Molina.
And on the mound, 24-year-old Mark Sepchinski. There you see his numbers. Respectable, got called up. He was a fifth-round draft pick in 2007. He pitched against his last start against the Yankees. Look at a 197 batting average against. Very good. Let's take a look at the Deep Pitcher Scout Report. 1-5 in his 6 starts isn't always indicative of how he's thrown. You saw his numbers were better than that. Second time around, it'll be interesting to see how the Yankees adjust, or he adjusts to the battle with each hitter's situation. And any pitch, any time. He's got a very good sinker. You'll see about 87, 90 miles an hour. A good slider, occasional change, and curveball. So he'll use them all at any time.
Kind of like his last name. You just throw a letter in there any time. Huh?
I'll buy a.
Well, Derek Jeter has a 5-game hitting streak and is one of those vitamin streaks. One a day. He is 5 for his last 30. Against the Red Sox, he was 4 for 21. And the pitch outside. Now, they saw Sepchinski in Toronto. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, gave up 4 runs. Actually pitched very well, struck out 7. Do they have an advantage now, Paul, because they've seen him?
Well, if you watch the way that game went along, too, he did real well early in the game. And then as guys started to see him the second, third at bat, they started getting on him. So, yeah, I would think that you definitely have an advantage, especially when you get guys back to back.
Well, I talk about this a lot about it, and I believe this. How do you feel when you face a guy and there's history? Unless he's nasty.
Jeter hits one deep to center. Wells back, still back. Track, wall. See ya! A leadoff home run for Derek Jeter. And the Yankees lead 1-0. Well, that might be an early answer to our question.
And I tell you what, you're just watching a great team that's hot right now. I mean, you're watching just quality guys going out, and they're going through a time. That ball out over the middle of the plate. But Derek Jeter, I mean, you said that he's got this little streak going, but he's on the borderline of getting hot again too. And it's just like everybody else in this lineup is swinging the bat, pitching. Wells does all he can, but he kind of gets blocked by the padding, so he can't get over the wall. That's it. Got a Derek Jeter home run ball. He's as excited as some of those kids out there.
Scuff it up.
Here's Nick Swisher, pitch outside 1-0. That's the 19th career home run, leading off the first inning for Derek Jeter. Swisher 7 for his last 17, inching the average up. And there's a strike.
What a way to start a game.
Especially after that last series. Yeah, you just go up. There's no better way to start a game than a hit, let alone a home run as a hitter. And the numbers and what guys hit after they start off a game with a hit, it's unbelievable. I mean, you're like over a 400 hitter.
After you get your first hit.
Everything, your mind's right. You're comfortable into the game. It's just like the rhythm. Everything's perfect. And then vice versa, when you're battling and you're 0 for 2, 0 for 3, you know, you're just battling to try to get that one hit.
So you were probably like 600, 700, right?
Yeah.
As often as you used to snap.
That's right.
Huh? Right. Get all mad after the first 8 meetings?
Terrible. Brings back great memories, though, doesn't it, Michael?
Every memory I have of yours is very good. Warm.
Warm and cuddly?
No, I don't know cuddly. 2-2. Inside 3-2. A lot of people wondering, I guess you made an appearance in Long Island. You think there were Yankee fans there. How'd that work out?
Really? I was set straight from like the minute I walked in.
Really?
Nice. Good Yankee fans. Long Island. They were proud of it, too.
That was a base hit to right field. Nick Swisher picks up a single.
Now you're pitching. The first guy goes deep. The next guy smokes one to right. Now what do we do?
Yeah, and that's a nice approach right there from Nick Swisher. He's got a slider. You see, kind of waiting back, and he was able to keep his hands back long enough to get a nice line drive to right field. 3-2 count. More times than not, especially early in the game, you see a starting pitcher go with their fastball, usually down the way.
Here's Teixeira. Big home run by Teixeira yesterday. And you can see how every at-bat in a game is interconnected. Johnny Damon tied the game, turned a 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Daniel Bard around, put it in the Yankee bullpen. And in all likelihood, Bard got scared off his fastball at that point. And Teixeira came up thinking, you know what, he's going to be afraid to throw me a fastball. I'm going to sit breaking ball. That's what he hit up. It's amazing. Everything interconnects to the previous or what's coming up in the future.
And he had almost said that he saw some breaking balls from him the day before, too. And even the hitters, they're like elephants. They don't forget a lot of things. You know, if a guy gets you out with a certain pitch, you know, you definitely are going to look for that in the future.
It was an electric moment at the stadium. My sister Debbie was here with the family. The place was shaking. It was so loud. So obviously this new ballpark can get loud, and it did on the back-to-back home runs. There's a strike.
It was shaking.
It was shaking.
Yeah.
And that home run not only gave the Yankees a lead, it gave Teixeira the lead in the AL home run derby ahead of Justin Morneau and Carlos Pena. The 2-2. Count 3-2. Zubchinski really struggling early.
It's tough enough. You're facing a great lineup in the Yankees, and now as they're hot, guys are on all cylinders. The best medicine for that is a league starting pitcher to come in and throw up a 0 or 2 in the first couple innings.
Line drive, base hit. Swisher stops at second. Inglett gets the ball in, and the Yankees have runners on first and second with nobody out, and Alex Rodriguez coming up, and Alex moved ahead of Harmon Killebrew with his home run last night. And that's significant because now no one in the American League, a right-handed batter, has ever hit more home runs in his career than Alex Rodriguez. 574. That home run got past Killebrew, moved him into 9th place all alone. Next stop, Mark McGwire, then Frank Robinson after that. He's in some heady company now. Alex's home run yesterday broke a scoreless tie, a pitcher's duel between John Lester and Andy Pettitte. But that was erased on Victor Martinez's 2-run home run. And then the back-to-back blast by Damon and Teixeira gave the Yankees a lead. They tapped on 2 more to complete the sweep. And there's a strike.
Boy, that was the pitch off of 95, 96 register. Good low fastball. Some kind of power.
And Alex is very quietly shutting down the people that said, wow, he can't hit in the clutch. Well, 12 of his 21 home runs this year have tied a game or given the Yankees the lead. And it was his home run yesterday. It was his 5th go-ahead home run of the season in the 7th inning or later. And that's the most by any Yankee in 1 year since Tino Martinez also did it 5 times in 1997.
Well, I mean, that's how you quiet critics, by doing what you just said and having the most since Tino Martinez. Numbers reflecting exactly what people had said that he wasn't doing earlier.
This could be a double play. There's one. On to first, a 6-4-3 double play as Swisher moves to third. Time now for the G moment. We were talking about Alex's home run, and Al mentioned it was off a tough pitch. Let's take a look at this G moment.
95 down his zone, looked like he missed not getting the ball inside. Unbelievable strength. I'm out near that garage over the Stanley. Didn't see too many that way, huh?
It's just, you know, there's some guys that you just watch and think, you know, that's just different. Not everybody does that. And Alex Rodriguez is one of those guys.
Here's Posada. Posada red hot. 8 for his last 16. And by the way, we just get word that the White Sox didn't give anything to the Blue Jays except for the $20,000 transfer fee.
See that? That was that on-site reporting of it.
That's amazing.
See that? I just walked, it slapped me right in the face. I just heard somebody talking right in front of me on the ice cream line. Got to be at the right place at the right time, Michael.
Got his line in the right field, and Bautista puts it away. So as we digest what our very own Mike Wallace just did, let's also take a look at what the captain did. Derek Jeter goes yard, leading off on a 2-0 pitch of Zepchinski. Now Yankee fans can watch live Yes Network games on their PCs and laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer who watches Yes, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. There's J.P. Ricciardi. It's been a rough season for him. Team has dropped out of the pennant race. A lot of his pitchers injured. Tried to trade Roy Halladay. Asked for a king's ransom. Couldn't get it. And now loses Alex Rios for nothing, and probably did it for the money. Here's Jose Bautista. And there's a strike. So the Yankees lead 1-0 on Jeter's home run.
Well, what would be any other reason, Michael, if he didn't get acquired?
That would be it.
Yeah. Wow. I think thought he would command more than that.
I just saw a picture of Roy Halladay, and I mean, 3 weeks ago, did you ever think that he'd be sitting in this dugout during this series? I wouldn't. I figured he'd be, with one of the contenders. And he's at the time in his career where, he wants to be on a contender year in and year out,
The 1-1. Grounded foul. Now, one of the reasons that they're shedding salary is they're not drawing up there. Now, Al, you were actually up in Toronto this weekend. They had a reunion of the two championship teams, back-to-back championship teams, and they really do a good job, the Blue Jays, putting those things together, but they didn't sell out.
No, not even close, Michael. And that part of it was disappointing, but having a chance to get together with some of the old teammates. And the whole weekend was fun. Golf and a gala and family dinner, and it was just really well done. But no, the night that we were brought on the field and introduced, it was probably half full. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure that has a lot to do with what's going on with their payroll and financially.
Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts for Sergio Mitre.
Just coming right at Batista with you see that late movement? Great sinking fastball. Velocity, okay, but that late movement, that last 15 feet or so where the hitter has to identify ball strike, and am I going to swing? Bottom dropped out of it.
You wonder what the mindset of the Blue Jays is today. Alex Rios was in the lineup batting 6. That's where Bautista was just plugged in. And they lost arguably their second or third best player for nothing because their team didn't want to pay the salary. What kind of mindset could the team have? This has to take all of their fight out of them, because if the team's not going to care, or the organization, why should they, other than personal pride? Encarnacion pops up to Melky Cabrera for the second out.
You know what, you say that, and on paper you definitely do have a point, but when you get out on a major league field, you get involved in the game, and you play that night to beat the New York Yankees, and then you're in Yankee Stadium in front of 45,000 people. That's usually enough. There's no doubt about it. But again, it's so much more fun to play baseball when you're on the Yankee side of the field here, where you're in first place, and there's a pennant race going on, and then it adds so much excitement, and so it makes it so much more fun to run out on that field every day.
Here's Rod Barajas. There's a strike, and that's all well and good. I hear what you're saying, but there has to be a mindset too, where you're excited about coming to the ballpark every day. I wonder, they walk in the clubhouse right before the game. Oh, by the way, we gave Rios away. Yeah. We gave him away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing tonight because Rios got traded.
Right.
Well, look at the year Scott Rowland was having. Got traded in Cincinnati for Josh Encarnacion and Josh Renicky. Having a heck of a year.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss.
This is the Reds' lucky. He shows up and 6 or 8 at bats into being over there to try to help that team turn things around. He gets hit in the head, and now he's got like concussion symptoms. They pulled him out of the lineup. One of his ex-teammates, the Marquis.
Jason Marquis.
Yeah, hit him in the head. Unintentional, but still.
The 0-2. Driven down the left field line and foul. Stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Yankee starters have now gone 24 straight innings over the last 3+ games without allowing a run.
Pretty strong.
The 0-2. Strike 3. And now the streak is longer. And Sergio Mitre has struck out 5. And the 1-2-3 inning, he threw just 11 pitches. So Mitre dealing. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Yanks. back in Monument Park. That meant the world to Billy Martin. They had a day, all dressed up, resplendent in his light-colored suit.
Summer suit out there.
Very nice. Buddy Mickey was there, Whitey.
Were you there, Michael?
I actually was there.
That's awesome.
Covering?
Yeah, I was covering. Yeah. I was working. Number 1, Billy Martin. Robinson Cano swings and grounds one to Overbay. And he flips to Zepchinski. One away. Now, speaking of Mickey Mantle, sad news in the Yankee family today. Merlin Mantle, the widow of Mickey, died in Texas today at the age of 77. And she was suffering from the effects of Alzheimer's disease. She made her last public appearance on the eve of the Bobby Mercer Memorial Service in Oklahoma City 1 year ago, August 5th. But after attending a private dinner with the guests, she was unable to attend the actual service the next morning. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Mantle family as the matriarch Merlin Mantle passed away today. Here's Jerry Hairston Jr. 4 for 10 as a Yankee. And the first pitch is a strike. Zepchinski seems to have taken a deep breath after the double play out the bat of Alex Rodriguez. It was all unraveling there, and that got him right back in the game. The 0-1. Foul back.
Well, we mentioned about how hitters adjust and pitchers adjust. Certain pitchers will just stay with their strength, and Zepchinski was pretty much pounding the right-handers up in Toronto. Power slider inside. It's kind of a forte of the staff as a whole with the Toronto Blue Jays. Missing with that slider away there, trying to come inside. Brad Arnsberg, their pitching coach, who I played with, there's Brad, is a guy who threw a very heavy sinker, power sinker. You faced Brad?
I think so.
Texas, a few teams, and you know his mantra is about guys don't pitch in enough. Righty or lefty, and you don't have to throw 95 or more. There's trying to come inside again. But along with the line of if you struggle early on and end up being Derek Jeter's solo home run, that you make the adjustments as the game goes along. And as to whether he starts introducing his third and fourth pitch a little bit more to see whether they're off his fastball slider. And that's the whole cat and mouse, the hitting and pitching.
Come in that first inning, you know, you're coming from the bullpen, and the first guy hits a home run, the next couple guys hit bullets, and you get a double play and another hit. You're kind of walking off the mound thinking to yourself, oh, come on, man, these guys are killing me. Start to wonder if you've got anything, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Doubt creeps in. You go over a game plan. You have the scout report. You sit down with the catcher, pitching coach, bullpen coach. Sometimes middle infielders come in on it and want to know, you know, what you're going to throw. And then you go out and you start getting peppered. Wait a minute.
When you go to the catcher, do we have another game plan? Because this was not going real well in the first inning.
There's a ground ball to second base. 2 away. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Scott Richmond will get the start for the Jays, 6-6, 3.97. Jabba Chamberlain goes for the Yankees off that 5-inning win on Thursday against the Red Sox, 8-2, 3.73. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. on My 9.
Jabba's just chomping at the bit. Can't wait to get back on the hill.
Gnawing down those nails.
Jumped up and hit Melky Cabrera.
How much easier is it as a hitter when you have all guys feeling pretty good about where they are in in the order. And
it's amazing how, it's amazing how everything seems to fall in order. The guys that are supposed to drive in runs get those opportunities. The guys that are supposed to lead off and set the bases, set the table, do that. And when everything's rolling right, you just wonder how you go through long streaks, especially with a team this good of losing games. And you look back at times that you were struggling out the year. Well, how did it happen? And then why weren't we in this rhythm yet? And I truly believe in the last couple of weeks that this team has brought a character about themselves of what type of team they are. I think people are comfortable enough now to say that this is our team. This is what we're going to do. And I think that it's shown the last couple of weeks.
Three-one count and the pitch. Grounded foul. Big crowd here at the stadium. Three-two. Grounded to third. Tough hop, but Encarnacion Fields fires across the diamond. But Overbay can't come up with a scoop. We'll see how they score that.
Sometimes as a fielder, you get a tough hop. You're kind of just hoping that first baseman will pick you up. Kind of the roll of the dice. Right, Encarnacion gets stuck in an in-between hop. Takes his time, but then throws kind of a sinking fastball over to Overbay.
Wasn't a short hop. Did that go through his web?
He looked at his glove like it did.
Now he's one of the best first basemen in the game, too. Strange he didn't come up with that. An E5 is how it scored. And here's Jose Molina, 4 for 19 since coming up the DL. And a strike. See if it went through the webbing. No, didn't get it into the web at all. And closed his glove too soon.
Yep.
The Yankees continue to have a healthy lead in the American League East. You might see Girardi rest Posada a little bit more. 37-year-old catcher, and was caught a lot coming back from major shoulder surgeries. The DH today, and Molina's behind the plate. But again, you don't want to take anything for granted either. 6.5 game lead is not insurmountable. But the Elias Sports Bureau dug up this stat today. The Yankees have never failed to reach the playoffs in a year in which they held a lead of 3 or more games in their league or division race at least 100 games into the season. And this is game number 112 for the Yankees. And that's kind of amazing. 3 games doesn't seem like it would be insurmountable. But the Yankees, when they move ahead in the race, they stay there. Don't come back. I don't think the Red Sox have ever come back against the Yankees when the Yankees have held a lead of 5.5 or more games against them. And those are just numbers, Leads could change within 4 days. You win 4 in a row, they lose 4 in a row, and all of a sudden it's a completely different animal. The 0-2, way outside, 1-2.
Not getting to the playoffs last year, I think it's important that the Yankees, hold this lead, win the American League East, but then, that wild card has definitely made baseball a different animal because, if you can get hot, I don't care if you're the wild card or not, you get in those short series, boy, things can change in a hurry.
Have 2 dominant pitchers.
Driven out toward right field. Bautista toward the line, and he'll make the play. Didn't know how many outs there were. Was ready to fire it into the infield for the final out of the second. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. We played 2 here at the stadium. Yankees lead 1-0. You're watching Take home many artifacts, including stadium seats from the original Yankee Stadium. Well, call Yankee Steiner Collectibles at 800-759-SCORE. There are many unique items which are the perfect addition to any Yankee fan's collection. Contact Yankee Steiner Collectibles today at 800-759-SCORE or visit steinersports.com or yankees.com. There's a look at the old girl across the street.
You collect stuff, Paul?
Not much, no.
I'm not much of a collector either. Michael?
Not really.
Doing anything up there? Booth? Seat?
Modell scoreboard 1-0 Yankees. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. No, I didn't take anything from them. You know what? The only thing we took over, we took the little block that Bobby used to stand on, so he didn't look shorter than everybody else. We called it Bobby's block, and we brought it to this booth. Now, did you hear what Reggie bought? I can't believe it. I don't know how he would have room. You drive past the old Yankee Stadium off the Deegan, and the big blue letters in the front that say Yankee Stadium, he bought them. He's putting them in his backyard.
What do you do with those? Light them up at Christmas or something?
Guess. I don't know.
How about the black in the back? The back.
He bought the black?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Good for him.
Wait a minute, he bought the black with the black seats?
Yeah. Well, it's just like there were no seats. It was just the
black, like steps.
Steps.
Yeah. I don't know how you could buy the black.
Should have built an amphitheater.
My house, I could have caught maybe one half of the Y in Yankee Stadium. Maybe gotten it in. The 2-1.
Wouldn't fit in the penthouse, couldn't get up in the elevator, is that what you're saying?
What was that?
Couldn't get the Y up in the elevator to the penthouse?
No, the house couldn't even walk it through. Now there's Bobby's block. That is actually Bobby's block. And that's the only thing we brought with us from the other stadium. Strike 3. Now check that. I'm sorry. I feel like Jose Bautista. That was strike 2. So the count 3-2.
See what happens if you get a couple of days off? You get all confused. It's impressive. You knew exactly what happened to everything last night. You were sitting on the edge of your couch, right?
Absolutely. Just because I wasn't announcing doesn't mean I don't watch. You watched too.
I did. I saw the end of the game. The important part of it.
3-2. Strike 3. There, I was right. 6 strikeouts from Mitre.
Nasty little comeback sinker. Look at how he gives up on it. That's the late movement, how it looked to England, probably led her high and ended up just being a little right about at the belt. So far, Sergio Mitre showing good late movement on the sinking fastball.
38 pitches for Mitre. I was talking to Brian Cashman on Friday, and I said, well, obviously you have to go out and get another pitcher. And he goes, why? I said, well, Mitre struggled a little bit. He goes, well, here's what I want everybody to do that says that. He said, first of all, the team's won 3 of the 4 starts that he's made. He said, you give me 75% for any starter, I'll take it. He said also, yeah, we'd like him to pitch longer into games. He said, but that'll come. And third of all, he says, go around Major League Baseball, look at the 5th starters. He said, how much different is Sergio Mitre than any other team's 5th starter? So I think the Yankees are really happy with Mitre. The 1-0. Grounded, right side. Fielded there by Cano. Nice play. And a good stretch by Teixeira for the second out. Mitre has 6 strikeouts. Let's take a look at all of them.
First inning, there's a power slider that backed up on Scudero. Good sinker. Just the slider there to Vernon Wells. Sinker, pounding, looking outside corner. This comeback sinker. Strong.
Nice play by Cano. 2 didn't come up, kept his glove on the ground, and a good stretch by Teixeira.
I can't say it enough how he does not get enough credit for the defense that he plays out there. I mean, his hands, the angles that he throws from, his arm strength. Robinson Cano has a second base. He's a Gold Glove second baseman, and he's such a good hitter that sometimes it's forgotten.
The 1-0. outside 2-0.
And kudos to Teixeira. How he's
absolutely. I mean, I was just going to say, you're looking at. I mean, you could have 3 Gold Glovers playing on this infield, and A-Rod's been out, so it's hard to win a Gold Glove when you miss the first month and a half of the season. But Jeet's been defensively been great. Cano's been unbelievable, and you said Teixeira has absolutely changed the way people watch at first base. Back to the Mattingly days and Tino days when things were done well over there.
2-1. High fly ball, deep left field, backing up Hairston. He's on the track. He's at the wall. He leaps. See ya. Home run for Aaron Hill, his 27th of the year, and the game is tied at 1. So the first mistake for Mitre, and Hill crushes it for his 27th homer. He has 27 homers hitting out of the number 2 hole. Nobody batting second in Major League Baseball has more. Again,
I mean, he's been their bright spot as a power hitter up in Toronto this year. This ball, I think, actually hit the top of the wall. And as a second baseman to pencil in, 30, 35 home runs, which looks like he's going to do this year, can add to a lot of run production in the lineup. Again, that ball goes right off the top of the wall.
Here's Adam Lynn, and there's a strike. It seemed like Hairston leaped at the wrong portion of the wall because it did hit the top of the wall. Yeah. He was going first pad, it was second pad. And that snaps a streak of 24 1/3 scoreless innings by Yankee starters.
Jerry Harrison doing the right thing, looking at the wall, finding out where. I mean, ideally you'd want to sprint back to the wall and then give yourself a chance to jump, but you don't realize how far you run to get to that point. You start kind of gliding into it, and left his mark on the left field wall.
That one's driven to right field. Swisher is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the 3rd. But the Blue Jays tie the score. Aaron Hill goes yard. Twist over the leaping try of Jerry Hairston Jr. Off the top of the wall into the Blue Jay bullpen. A 1-1 game as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. America's Sub Shop, and by HSBC, the world's local bank. Well, we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. And the Modell scoreboard shows a 1-1 game. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees.
He might be up to see you tonight.
Who's that?
Mitchell Modell.
Really?
Yeah, he's in the house.
Wow. Always fun to see Mitchell.
Gift cards for everyone.
Michael, it's like St. Nick.
St. Mitch. Derek Jeter leads off with a single.
Yeah, Derek Jeter comes in, home run first time. What we say about confidence? It's a little slider inner half, fights it up the middle.
Where and left-handers out all year long, well over 400.
Jeter's 42nd multi-hit game of the season.
.423. Now the 2 for 2 against Chinsky, so that goes up.
That's going to bring up Nick Swisher. Runner goes. Pitches a strike, throw to second, not in time. It trickles into center. Jeter is going for third. The throw from Wells, not in time.
Talk about when things go well, you always put the pressure on the other team. Derek Jeter gets a good jump. And again, you go on instincts. And then if you watch how to run bases, watch Derek Jeter. I mean, he picks up the ball. He knows where it is. Knows Vernon Wells isn't one of the better throwers in the league. Up quick. On to third base. Jeter's 20th stolen base of the year.
So he has his 20th leadoff home run and his 20th stolen base in the same game. Infield is back. Swisher can get a ribby, and the Yankees get a lead on a ground ball. Pitch outside.
And you mentioned the 20 stolen bases. He's caught only 4 times. And as you mentioned, Paul, it's not just randomly running. I mean, they're watching the nuance, seeing what a pitcher's doing, if there's anything they can pick up. I mean, that's a great percentage of running, getting stolen bases. 5 of only 4 caught stealing.
And the 1-1.
Tell you what, as a base runner, you could always tell that the pitchers that didn't want to concern themselves with base runners. They wanted to think about the batter. You could almost get into a groove, and a lot of times you can tell that the only time they would throw over was from the dugout, and you could get good jumps on them.
Who's the best pitcher that was like that? Didn't want to deal with base runners.
Rob Dibble, who I played behind.
Right.
Escobar from Toronto. I mean, you could walk to second base. Al, you didn't like to throw to first base. I know darn well that you were in tune with getting the hitter.
That should get the run in. A fly ball to the warning track and a long throw, but Jeter slides in with the run. What a throw by Bautista. But Jeter got a good jump, and obviously he's fast enough, so he scores on the sac fly. Give the Yankees a 2-1 lead.
Again, Derek Jeter stealing second base and kind of skipping into third base. This sets up a good opportunity as a hitter. And I'll tell you what, from the warning track, it makes this a lot closer than most people would think it's going to be with Derek Jeter running.
That's a third baseman. Third baseman most of the time in his career.
Pretty good throw.
Excellent throw.
That's a guy who found out he was going to play 10 minutes before the game because Alex Rios not in the starting lineup tonight.
First pitch to Teixeira out of the zone, 1-0. So Jeter created that run, single, stolen base, moved to second on the E2 and scored on a sac fly. Little ball by the Yankees. There's a ground ball to short. Scudero. 2 outs. Take one more look at this throw.
I'll tell you what, as a right fielder, usually you know when you have a chance, and that's a deep shot. I'll tell you what, that is right on the money. A lot of guys take it for granted that from that deep, they'll kind of jog in for the run. You can see Jeet ran in and actually slid, so quite an arm in right field.
A lot of guys don't even make that throw if they're that deep. Here's Alex Rodriguez. Count 1-0. Strike, count 1-1. Yankees up 2-1 here. Bottom of the third inning. And now the count 2-1, same as the score. Yankees 2 runs on 4 hits. The Blue Jays 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors.
Get the feeling that Alex Rodriguez, after those 2 big home runs against Boston, is almost ready to take off on one of his tears, and it's just good thing after good things happening for the Yankees. And their pitching's come around. Their starting pitching's been unbelievable. And you could see how they could wheel off, 18 out of 20, 20 out of 25. I mean, they're that good right now. There's a guy right there that's just done nothing but thrown the ball really well his last 4 or 5 times out. Hadn't got a lot of victories for it. Burnett's thrown well. I mean, everybody who... This is a real easy one for the cameraman. Anybody they put on there's done real well lately.
Alex takes a strike. Red Sox, you wonder if they're licking their wounds. Bottom of the second inning in Fenway. They're leading Detroit 3-0. We'll keep an eye on that. Jabez tomorrow started. He started the first game of the 4-game set against the Red Sox. And of the 4 Yankee starters, he probably was the least effective, but still got a win. Struggled with his command and walked a lot of people over 5 innings, but got the victory 13-6. 3-2. And A-Rod walks on that one.
Michael, I never heard after Jabez start, he kind of struggled for the first 5, but then he had, what was a 39-minute inning, or almost a 40-minute inning.
Minutes between.
How he explained that? Did he say he lost it, or that had nothing to do with it?
He didn't make any excuses. The bottom line is trying to get a win, and I got to win. The team got to win, he said.
Well, Paul, you can support this. Of all the years that you guys won, and the run was fantastic, the dynasty, it always comes back to pitching and starting pitching. As great as the bullpen was, and Stanton and Ramiro Mendoza and Nelson, obviously Mo being the fixture. Starting pitching sets the tone. Doesn't put the pressure on the offense. You don't feel like you're always coming back.
Rosado fouls away.
As many runs as the Yankees have scored, and they've had a very great series. It starts with the pitching.
Well, it's time for the Toyota text poll, and this is a related question. Tonight's question is, which starter had the best performance of the weekend? The choices are number 1, A.J. Burnett, number 2, C.C. Sabathia, number 3, Andy Pettitte. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Now, Andy was great yesterday, and obviously A.J. allowed just 1 run or 1 hit, 7 2/3. But if you saw all the games, C.C. Sabathia was absolutely dominating on Saturday. He almost looked like he had no-hitter stuff and had a perfect game for a while. That's how I would vote. That's how you want your ace to pitch, too.
Yeah.
He's throwing 96 on the black.
I know. That's a tough matchup.
And you got to give the Red Sox credit, because in those 3 games, Burnett pitched well, Buchholz pitched well, yesterday Lester pitched well, but these guys pitched better. Burnett 7 2/3 a hit, Sabathia 7 2/3 2 hits, and Pettitte 7 innings 5 hits, and his ball just circled all, no runs.
And if you don't win those games when your starters give up no runs, there's something wrong. And that's just like we said in the pregame. I mean, they won the close games, they won the blowouts. They looked like a much better team than the Boston Red Sox for 4 days on this field. There was no doubt who was the better team. And Michael, you did some of the games earlier. It could have looked completely different back in April when you were in Fenway.
Absolutely different, and I think the big change is the bullpen. I really believe that. The starters obviously are what the starters are going to be, but the Yankee bullpen was so shoddy back then, blew a lot of leads. Check swing in the dirt, blocked by Barajas. And I think this, and you've mentioned this too, Paul, this team now has a different feel to it. And I talked to Mariano on Saturday, and he said, this is now home field advantage. He said, we think we're going to win every single time we play here. He said, we like this ballpark. We know how it plays. He goes, and other teams don't feel that way here yet. Three-two. Hit sharply to second. Hill boots it, but he has time. And he makes the play for the final out. Well, Derek Jeter scores the Yankees' second run. He scored the first one as well. This one he did with little ball. Singles to center. He steals second, gets up, moves to third, and then scores on a sac fly. line quiz. Vernon Wells, who's on deck, is 3 hits away from 3rd place on the all-time Blue Jays hit list. Who's the franchise leader? Wonder if you were hanging out with him, Al, this weekend. Yeah? We'll find out for sure in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lyle Overbay leads off, takes a pitch outside. Yankees lead 2-1. Derek Jeter, a home run leading out the 1st inning, and then scored a 2nd run in the 3rd.
Do you know?
Yes, I do. Do you know?
No.
Really?
I've got a guess.
Yeah. Let me give you some names now from the past. Tell me if they were there this weekend. No, not the.
Oh, okay,
I'm not going to give you
That's
hits.
a fireable offense. You know that.
Joe Carter was there, right?
Yeah, Joe.
Joe was there. George Bell?
No.
George
Taco was not there. He left it after 89 or 90 into the White Sox.
Robbie Alomar?
Robbie. I'll tell you, looking around the infield, they had the 92, 93 because many of the players from 92 were still there in 93 for back-to-back. And boy, I know the Yankees had a great run, but there's some fantastic players part of those 2 years. Paul Molitor, John Olerud, Kelly Gruber.
Kelly Gruber, there's a name.
Jack Morris, Dave Steve, Jimmy Key.
What player looked the worst? I mean, really has aged the most?
Other than me?
Other than you.
They're not getting our broadcast anyway. Just let her fly.
No, I won't.
All right, let me ask you this. Of everybody that came back, who looked the best in shape that, wow, he could still play?
Alomar?
Really?
Yes.
Were you second best?
No.
Were you in the top 10?
Not in the top 10.
You weren't in the top 10?
Oh,
you look great, buddy.
I might have been.
Yeah? All right.
That hot yoga, man.
Stoudemire, Pat Borders, there are a lot of guys that look
Yeah?
good shape.
And I forgot, who'd you say looked the worst?
Nice try.
3-2. Still 3-2.
Wayne Ward, Tom Henke, Mark Eichhorn, Danny Cox. This is good. It's fun to get back.
Oh,
Guys you haven't
absolutely.
seen in a while. And it was a full weekend of dinners and parties and galas.
And the family's involved and everything?
Yeah, yeah. It's good. Don't get it out of me there, Mikey.
You'll tell me off the air. The 3-2. And Overbay works a walk.
Which means you'll throw it out there on the air.
As a source said. Or you know what? I'll have somebody say it around the ice cream machine. You'll run back and say
Chance,
it.
I'll hear that one.
Now, I've got some sources out there.
And you got a lot of them. Let's go.
And my buddy Rich Wurzberger of Peerless Clothing said that you golfed with him.
I did.
And he said that you have a, quote, beautiful swing.
Beautiful?
Is that what he said?
Does that always correlate into beautiful shots?
I don't know.
think so.
Did you have a good time golfing
I
with
did.
Rich?
I did. I appreciate it. We had a good time.
You've met Rich, right, Al?
That's a couple free suits right there.
We're working.
I believe that's a wardrobe.
That is. His name, his company.
Boy, had a tape measure on the first tee for me. Measured me up.
Wells struck out in the 1st inning. Runner on first base, nobody out. And the 1-0. And a strike. Count 1-1.
Tomorrow's Wingfoot, though.
That's big, right?
That's a golf course. Yeah, in my mind, I may be playing the U.S. Open tomorrow. How you like that?
That one is skied into left center field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. Stopping at second is Overbay. And Vernon Wells singles. Now, we are just learning that Cito Gaston, the manager for the Blue Jays, was ejected after the top of the 3rd inning. And we're not sure what went on and why. Didn't see any objectionable call.
If that's the case, then from here we can't see him. He certainly didn't get his money's worth because there was no argument. At least him coming out on the field.
Who took over? Nick Laver or Butter? Who took over?
I don't think Brian Butterfield, the bench coach, would have to take over.
Was that?
There's Butter.
Now look at that. Now that boy right there is officially nuts. I'll tell you that right now. And you know how I figured that one out when he was coaching with us? We were in the Boston locker room, and I heard some screaming and yelling. And all of a sudden, I saw a grown man go running through the locker room with a Patriots helmet on and a jockstrap, and that was it. And I said, that's it. It's official.
He's a big Patriots fan. Pitch to Bautista's inside. Well, that little story's going to help Butter get a manager's job somewhere down the line.
You got to make the. Hey, we won that night, right? Everybody got a chuckle out of it. One of the good, funny guys in baseball.
And really a good baseball man.
Yeah.
Really knows the game.
Do they still name the minor league after his dad?
After his dad, yes.
The minor league player of the year?
Player of the year. And he was part of that group with Buck Showalter, the manager, that kind of took the Yankees from the bottom and built them up to the championship level. They left after the '95 season.
Positive, fun, high-spirited guy, as Paul said. I've never heard him say anything bad about it.
Endless hours. I mean, he and Buck would spend endless hours at the ballpark talking baseball. But then, he knew how to have a lot of fun before the game, not during the game, but before and after. And those are the guys that, you remember through your career, and you remember good things.
He came up through the Yankee system before he got the coaching job with Buck, so he managed Jeter. He managed Posada. He managed Andy Pettitte. He's a part of all this as well, all these championships that took place. The 2-1. Oh, what a play by Mitre. Let's see if he can get two. He doesn't even get one. The throw goes off the glove of Robinson Cano into right field. Overbay scores. Wells will move to third, and Bautista is at second on an E1, and the game is tied at 2.
Boy, I think this happened to Mitre once before. As a pitcher, you just get so excited that you make the play. He sees that he made it. Now you got to stay under control. Yes, his left foot is standing up on the pitcher's mound uphill, but you got to make sure that you're true straight. Watch when he turns around. He makes a great play. Take your time. It's a 1 or 2 hopper. See the ball just float away. If anything, stay away from the danger zone on the first base side. But throw so many sinkers. It's almost you got to make sure you get up and throw that true four-seamer right to his chest.
Now, we talked about this, and the reason we remember is because the last time we did a game together, he is hesitating coming out of it. And you saw he took 2 or 3 steps there. And what happens, was the throw catchable? Yeah, it was probably catchable.
Well, they gave the error to Cano.
But, yeah, the thing is he's taken so much time to get rid of the ball that the base runner is getting in there and putting pressure on Cano or Jeter.
So it looked like Cano was more concerned about trying to double play than catching the ball.
That looked like it started getting in that danger area. Cano didn't realize how far the base runner was, but anytime it creeps up into the first
1 step, 2 steps, see, that's just too much time. And you see the runner coming in there. I mean, it is. It's very important for a pitcher to give them a good throw, but you've got to give that guy time and time to get off the bag and get out of the way and turn 2 for you.
Snap throw to third. Now, do you think that's a fair error on Robinson then?
No, and I'll tell you, I'll be critical as a pitcher. Very much, you must be adamant about throwing a strike. You have enough time here. You see the base runner. Even though I know what you're saying, Paul, you want to make sure you're under control. And maybe he's taking just a millisecond too long. But I'd rather see that and a perfect strike hitting Cano in the chest than to rush a throw. Because he had plenty of time. That was an easy 1-4-3 double play. After he made a great catch.
Encarnacion, we talked about guys that Rios traded today from an organization trying to get rid of guys going to the White Sox who are in the playoff hunt. Most guys get traded either or. You either go up or you go down. Encarnacion came from Cincinnati, who's not in the playoff race, gets traded to another team who's not in the playoff race. So this is kind of a strange deal for him.
Infield is back. Second and third, nobody out. 3-2. High fly ball, shallow right, tagging as well. Swisher makes the play. Here's the throw. Here's the play. And Wells is in there. 3-2, Blue Jays lead as Bautista moves to third. And now they're going to check at third. They thought he left too early. Did he? No, he did not.
Again, you see Nick Swisher, he does everything right. He's behind the ball, but look at the arc on the ball. I mean, it's just, you've got to hit that cutoff man. You got to give him a short, a nice hop, and just blooping that ball in a little bit. And, what do the Blue Jays have to lose? If you get a chance to score a run at this time of the year, you send a guy. Vernon Wells gets a good read of Molina being away from the plate. Quicker to run straight through if he got an open bag, which he did.
Now the infield is in as the Yankees want to cut off this run. They're down 3-2 here in the 4th inning. And here's Barajas. Foul back.
Watching Wells run through home plate, you're okay with that as opposed to always slide? I always thought.
Well,
when in doubt, slide.
Sure, absolutely, you're going to doubt. But that play was in front of him. He had a timing play where Molina was not going to be able to get back to block the plate. Why not run straight through? But anytime it's going to be close, you've got to get down because that catcher is going to put that shin guard right in front of the plate.
Fielded there by A-Rod. He checks the runner back to third. Fires across the diamond for the second out. So the infield in works as Bautista does not score.
And A-Rod gets a ball. These are the plays that, he's a natural shortstop. These are plays that, he's learned in the years he's been with the Yankees. Going towards the line, holding the guy on.
Infield backs up now for Joe Inglet. Struck out looking in the 3rd. Grounded foul. This is an inning that Mitre's hurt himself. He hasn't pitched poorly. But that tailing throw that Cano could not handle. Cano got the error, but if Mitre makes a good throw, it's a double play. The whole inning unfolds differently.
Al, this is what I see from Mitre. You'll see him strike out guys where he looks like a #1 guy. And then all of a sudden, you'll see a couple guys where he misses with pitches. He's he's in trouble when he shouldn't be in trouble. And that's the difference consistency-wise of a 1-2 starter and a 4-5 starter.
The 0-1 inside 1-1.
Well, you just said it, Paul. He has shown a very good sinker, occasional slider that has been devastating, especially the right-hander. But when you're consistently in a 1-2 pitch mode, and if you're not on with your command on that sinking fastball, throwing strikes, getting ahead, and expanding, think of thirds of the plate, and then you go for the corners as you get ahead. The premise behind pitching. And when he gets in trouble, it's the opposite. It's miss with your predictable pitch, and as a hitter, you know this, Paul. If you're looking at 75 or 80% sinkers, which is probably what he is, maybe even more, an occasional slider, mostly to the right-hander, you're saying sinker and occasional changeup as a lefty, and you're missing with your fastball, and you got to get back in the count. What are you looking for?
2-1. Grounded past a diving Teixeira and down the right field line. Bautista will score. Inglet's going to go to second. Now rounding second, going to third, and he is going to make it with a triple. And the Blue Jays are up now 4-2.
Again, you said, you get in that fastball count where you have to kind of aim that sinker. Takes a lot of movement off of it. And he drills it down the line. Teixeira can't draw a leather. England has good speed. Gets a good read on the carom in right field. Doesn't settle for 2. Takes it all the way to third base. See, looking at your shoulder. Doesn't even use the third base coach. Makes up his mind before he gets to second base.
So Dave Island goes out and talks with Mitre.
Now you mentioned about what do they have to lose, and you're right. They're not going anywhere. Obviously, 4th place, 15 games back. Is that also a product of knowing your outfielders and maybe taking advantage of some, obviously where we saw Bautista threw from the warning track, almost threw out Derek Jeter in a sac fly situation, and where Nick Swisher was standing for Vernon Wells to go. Is it a matter of being aggressive or just saying, hey,
I think that it goes into the scouting report that these are the guys we're going to run on. These are the guys you don't. You go over that first day in the series. So obviously, if it's an iffy call, you're going to make the Yankee outfielders throw you out.
Hits the Scudero, and there's a strike.
Little scatter report on Marco Scudero. Jay's MVP. Between him, Adam Lind, and Aaron Hill, this guy's had a great year. Leads the American League in reaching base 198 times coming in today. Walked the line. He leads Major League Baseball with 29 walks when he leads off an inning. And found a home. Boy, he started with the Indians, went to the Brewers, the Mets, the A's. He's really shined, I think, as a 33-year-old player now in Toronto. Very good, scrappy, plays the game right, plays it hard.
A lot of talk before the trade deadline that Blue Jays are going to trade him. He's only signed through this year. He's going to be a free agent. Chad Godin beginning to stretch, but they did make a trade, and now they're going to try to sign him during the offseason. Breaking ball strike. Some rumors today that the Red Sox are sniffing around and trying to get Christian Guzman of the Nationals because their shortstop situation is kind of beaten up with Nick Green and Chris Woodward. So it'll be an $8 million salary dump by the Nationals. That's a guy that will get through waivers. The 1-2, grounded to first. Teixeira will take it himself, and that is going to do it. But the Blue Jays take the lead. They score 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 big error, and 1 man left. 4-2 Jays. To the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Vernon Wells is now 2 hits away from 3rd place on the all-time Blue Jays hits list. Who's the franchise leader? Any guess, Al?
Tony Fernandez.
With 15.
I was right.
1583.
God, I was thinking Robbie, and then I thought maybe George Bell.
That's what my guess was, George Bell.
Here's Robinson Cano, and there's a strike. 4-5-2. For the Jays, 2-4-1 for the Yanks. Mitre threw 30 pitches in the 4th inning. High fly ball, deep right field. Bautista back, track, wall, see ya! A long solo home run by Robinson Cano, and the Yankees have closed it within 4-3.
Talked about Robbie, what a great hitter he is, and when he's great, he looks out over the plate, and he is so quick inside. You'll see this is an inside fastball. Just didn't quite get there quick enough. Robbie is so quick inside, he's able to turn on that ball when he doesn't open up and try to pull it. Barrel of the bat gets out there and squares it up. That's from a left-hander, too, and it's so important that, when you're hitting a lefty, as a lefty, that you keep that front side closed don't open up and give that outside part of the plate away. And when you know you're quick enough to get that inside fastball from the lefty, that makes it a lot easier.
17 home run, 58th run batted in. I wonder if you feel like this, Paul. I look at Robinson Cano, and he's hitting .314 now, and I actually think, you know what, he's better than that.
You know what? I've told 3 people that in the last 3 days. It's really unfair on our part, but you see what he can do with the plate, and you could see him hitting .330 or .340. I mean, it's just.
Well, he's hit .342 in 1 year.
Yeah,
already.
he does not have a real hole at the plate, and Al knows that when you're facing a guy and you don't have a gaping hole, a way to get a guy out consistently, it makes it very tough to pitch to. How do you go about Rob? I mean, how do you get him out?
You know what? You try to get him pull conscious, and if there's ever a spot where just watching Cano off and on is that he gets a little bit conscious inside, and then that ball away, he won't aggressively drive it. You get some long fly balls to left, or maybe pull off that ball that's thigh high, knee high away.
That one is driven deep to left field. Going back, Inglet, track, wall, leaps, see ya, tie game. Back to back, Cano and Hairston at 4-4.
Well, back-to-back Harrison Jr. He gets a fastball out away. Welcome to Yankee Stadium. I mean, these balls are driven, but when it's hot and it's summer baseball, boy, it's a great time to hit. Here's a guy we talked about, Encarnacion, being traded over from Cincinnati, really not going to an exciting surroundings. Well, Harrison Jr., I mean, you're traded from Cincinnati. You get to show up and play in Yankee Stadium and be part of a pennant race. What an opportunity. He's brought a lot to offer the Yankees, as many things as he can do.
Count 2-0. It's the 12th time the Yankees have gone back-to-back this season, and the second time in as many nights. Last night, Damon and Teixeira. Tonight, Cano and Hairston, his 9th home run of the year, first with the Yankees, the 2-0. And it's 3-0.
And I was just looking at him drinking that Gatorade. We could use a tub of that up here tonight, huh?
It's hot.
It looked pretty good.
Sean Camp beginning to throw.
Gino always mixed the Gatorade. Took a lot of pride in his Gatorade mixing.
Every trader.
We could give him a little call and send a little bucket up to us, huh?
You got it. We got Mitch Mordell and not Gatorade.
Everything.
Strike to Cabrera, and the count is full now at 3-2.
He's always had about 3 or 4 different flavors depending on the weather.
That one is driven into center field. It is a base hit right in front of Vernon Wells. So the Yankees jumping on Sepchinski in this inning. Homer, single. And Brad Arnsberg will come out and talk things over.
Well, getting it a good count here. You see the ball up. This is a sinker going away. Sinkers, for a pitcher's standpoint, usually down and knee high. Just being aggressive, trying to put the ball in play after getting behind 3-0. The Yankee lineup, how they wear down pitchers. I don't care if they're veteran guys as good as the Roy Halladay's. Been around a long time. When you get the bottom of the order that can extend the lineup, it just makes everybody that much better. So much more difficult to pitch to. Pitch counts are up.
And I tell you, I mean, even good lineups have soft spots as far as guys not being hot, guys going through little slumps. And right now, the Yankees don't have that. I mean, they've got guys that are swinging the bat, and it goes on inning after inning. It's a lot of pressure.
But to that point, when you have a great lineup, and you're a middle of the guy in your respective lineups, and you can hide and struggle in a superior lineup and not feel as bad,
sure,
as opposed to the lineups where you're 1, 2, 3 go-to guys, and then it really falls off.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there were times when you played good teams. You're right, and the back end of the order wasn't strong. And, once you got through that 3, 4, 5 guys, it was almost like, all right, you take a deep breath till they come around again.
Yep.
So it's, 1 through 9, when everybody's swinging the bat pretty high, it's got to put a lot of pressure on the pitcher. And it also, it gives guys opportunities to score runs, guys opportunities to drive in runs. It just keeps you in the game. And now we got Butter out there. He's going to figure out what's going on, too.
He had a long talk there with Paul Schreiber and pointing toward the mound. Now, also at the mound is the crew chief, Joe West. And now Schreiber will go out to the mound to try to break this up, so something's up. This chiropractic telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Now it seems like everything is settled.
Country Joe West, he called me over to the car today when I came in and handed me a CD. He's got a new CD out.
New
part
one
of
or
a,
is that the
part
old
of
one?
A country country album.
He's been putting out CDs a long time. I don't know if that was they were arguing balls and strikes. I'm not sure. That was kind of odd. Where Butter goes to the home plate umpire, Joe West comes out to the mound, and their little powwow.
Well, the rule is if you come out and argue balls and strikes, you're automatically thrown out, so you almost have to talk around it.
Yeah. Or from center field, you can get thrown out like Shane Victorino did with the Phillies.
You can't even argue from center field.
Don't look cross-eyed. Rapawano, third base umpire here tonight, is the one who threw him out.
Well, I mean, seriously, what? How can you see this guy out here?
Well, I'll tell you what, he fires up his hand. Maybe he got punched out in the previous inning. So Rap knew it.
Thought he was after.
Yeah. You'd be working on your swing in right field, right, wouldn't you?
Getting ready for that next at bat. They have a rule that you just cannot question balls and strikes. I mean, what kind of rule is that? Aren't you allowed to come out and say, hey, you know what, you think you're missing some, or we think you're squeezing us, but what are you, just not allowed to mention balls and strikes?
Well, how long would the game be then? You're already thrilled when it's over 4 hours. If you're allowed to argue balls and strikes.
At least you're allowed to question the guys. I mean, that's their job, balls and strikes.
But they'd be questioning every ball and strike.
All right, well, then you get one free for your game. How's that?
No, but
almost like the red flag in football.
No, but
penalty flag.
Not where you sit and have a big powwow. Sit down, but you should be able to respectfully disagree with the guy's call.
Well, pitchers will
say
say it. Pitchers say, where was that?
Yeah.
And you probably argue balls
I
and
asked
strikes.
where that was a lot.
I don't think that the guys from the bench can do it. They can't come out and argue. 3 home runs by the Yankees give them 171, and that ties the Rangers for the most in baseball. Phillies are next, and the Rays and the White Sox.
That's a big year for a team. 240, 250 home runs.
That's huge. That's huge.
Less than that. You can figure, Alex Rodriguez, he didn't have his usual yet because he missed a lot of time. So this team can.
I think the number's more like 200.
Grounded softly to third. They're going to get 1 at second. On to first. Not in time. Well, Paul, this might answer your question. The Yankee team record is 242 in 2004.
Ooh.
And that's going to bring up Derek Jeter, but not before Brian Butterfield will signal out to the bullpen to bring in a right-hander. So Butter takes the ball from Zepchinski. And the Jays will go to the pen with Jeter coming up, runner on first, game tied at 4. by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, Brian Butterfield makes the call to the ballpark, brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. And he brings in Sean Camp. And those are Camp's numbers. Not too bad. Obviously, the record's not good, but 3.08 in the American League. Less hits than innings pitched, 35 strikeouts, 22 walks.
Yeah, and Sean Camp's been pretty much their long man, which he really, of his 37 appearances, 13 of them he's pitched 2 innings or more.
Jeter 2 for 2, 2 runs scored. Yankees and the Jays are tied at 4. Pitch is high. Jeter's always hit well against the Blue Jays, 325 lifetime average. Foul tipped in front of the plate. Yankees with 7 hits. They've had 3 home runs tonight. And Jeter drives one into right center field. Bautista's there. He'll run it down for the second out. Camp's last appearance against the Yankees came on July 4th. It was a loss. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. There's Nick Swisher. Nick singled to right and also lofted a sac fly, his 59th RBI of the year. Strike.
Sean Camp, he's been around a while. He's drafted by the Padres, went to the Pirates, Kansas City, to Tampa Bay. Serviceable veteran player, 33 years old. With the Blue Jays last year, respectable year, 40 games.
Shows bunt, takes pitch outside. No one up in the Yankee bullpen. Mitre will pitch the 5th. Yankees have won 7 in a row. They've had 4 different win streaks of at least 7 games in a row. That's how you get 27 games over 500. As long as you don't have a lot of losing streaks thrown in, and they haven't done that.
You know, it's funny, you think about winning 7 games in a row, and it's just, it seems like they're supposed to do that right now. I mean, they're just better than people right now. Guys are swinging the bats. Pitching's been good. It's nothing like anybody's doing anything out of the ordinary. I mean, because everybody's doing their part right now. That makes it fun to come to the park that way. I tell you that.
The 2-2 popped up and fouled away.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about the 162-game schedule. You know, early in the year in June, when they lost 2 or 3 to the Nationals, went down to Florida, lost 2 to 3 to the Marlins, went into Atlanta, lost the game. You know how, as you're saying, Paul, all cylinders. When you have the complete lineup feeling comfortable and confident, the starting pitching really doing more than expected at 1 through 5.
Now, you mentioned that Atlanta game that they lost, and in the middle of that series, Brian Cashman came down to Atlanta and had a speech, or he spoke to the team. Well, he might have a career in public speaking because since he visited the Yankees in Atlanta, the team is 31-10, and the pitchers have a 3.85 ERA. I don't know if that was an awakening for them, but they know, hey, something's up here. Why would the general manager show up in the middle of a series? Maybe someone's job is on the line, and they picked it up, playing 21 games over 500 since. 2-2, swing and a miss. Swisher down on strike, so Kant comes on and does a good job. But the Yankees scored 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 man left. Robinson Cano started the inning with a 7-home run against a left-hander this year. Right following that, Jerry Hairston Jr., his first home run of the day. Thank you very much, Nancy. It's 4-4 after 4, so 4's a wild. It'll be Aaron Hill, Adam Lynn, and Lyle Overbay here in the 5th inning against Sergio Mitre on the Lexus scoreboard. 4-7-1 for the Yankees and 4-5-2 for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Look, you got to admire this. This just came in. Is that nice?
What is it?
It's a Robert Graham bag. Look at that.
What's in it?
Look at this. It's rated presents in here. Mitch Modell just showed, look, cards for everybody.
Oh, boy.
Look at this. Pick a number. Here. Let's play cards.
Pitch is outside to Aaron Hill. Now I know what Bill White and Frank Messer felt like.
You see this?
Rizzuto would get these kind of gifts in the booth.
If you don't want them, I'll take them. What do you think?
I'll take them.
He took them all last time. Mitch came in and gave them
Michael
away.
was supposed to hang, give you a couple, but they never came your way. I understand. Yes, well, thank you very much, by the way.
And the 1-1. No foul. No, it stayed fair. Hill didn't even run. He thought it was going to kick foul, but Teixeira made the play and kept his foot on the bag.
Let's see what kind of spin on the ball here. Kicks back. English spin as a cue ball.
There's nothing worse as a hitter when you try to steer that thing and it won't listen to you.
Goofy kick spin.
He might have kicked back fair. And the pitch outside to Lynn. Grounded to second. And there's 2 away. Up to this point, this is Mitre's most solid outing as a Yankee. And you also have to give him a little slack as he's coming back from Tommy John surgery. And he's a little bit ahead of schedule. And you would assume that it's going to come game by game, start by start, pitch by pitch. I was talking to Oral Hershiser today. He said, when you come back from surgery, there are days that you feel physically fine. He said, but the command's not there. You just don't have the feel for your pitches. He said, then your arm doesn't feel good some days. You go, what am I doing? He goes, I think that's what John Smoltz was going through. But he said that he felt that John Smoltz would be a successful pitcher in the big leagues again if he wants to move his family. The 0-1.
Well, usually that's the first thing that'll go, Michael, is the command. You'll see a guy even with a sore arm, even before they end up having surgery or get cut on, they'll still maintain the velocity. But it's the command that's off and on tonight. Mitre's fought through a few innings, but his command with a sinker in the zone trying to hit the glove has been off. Getting a little bit of reprieve from some of the aggressive hitters on the Blue Jays.
Talk about Schmaltz will show up somewhere else. I mean, there's only a few teams that he wants to play for. I mean, you're not going to go to a team that has no chance of winning. I mean, you're going to go, and that's the thing. Can you trust a guy who's not all the way back in a pennant race if you're a contending team?
And again, you went with Schmaltz.
I guess I used to call him that from the dugout. And he used to get me out.
Take out the 8.
And the 3-1. 3-2. Only has 6 strikeouts already. Now a 3-2 count on Overbeck. And the pitch. Driven deep to right center field. That ball is gone. See ya. Into the bleachers over the Yankee bullpen. And then it kicks into the Yankee bullpen. And that one puts the Jays up 5-4. What a monster blast.
We got the 3-1 count, then got back into it with a 3-2 pitch to get to this. You see where the location is. Molina setting up away. That ball down and in, middle in to Lyle Overbay's 12th home run of the year. Not known for his power. Got all of that.
Vernon Wells, 8 grounds, 1 foul.
You know, it's funny because this is almost what you expect from your fifth starter. We keep forgetting when you see Overbay again hitting one of the longer home runs to right center we've seen this year. But off the sharper image sign out there. Tell off the bat. But you know, offensively, you know, you're going to have to score some runs tonight. I mean, it's your fifth starter. It's a young guy that really hasn't gotten comfortable day in and day out being the fifth starter. You're going to have to score runs to win the game, and that can be fine. It's just that you can't do it every single night. And right now, you know, with the way your first 4 starters are going, you don't have to do this.
Grounded foul outside of third. Now, I want to apologize. I thought that went into the bleachers, but watching the replay, it went off the back wall.
Look at the location there where Molina's setting up away. This is a sinker supposed to go down and away. Ends up being in Mr. Happy zone for left-handers. Most left-handers like that ball down and in. Nice swing, driving that ball through.
See the reaction. There was no doubt about that one, and it was immediate. That, you know, you missing your location in a fastball count in this stadium tonight when it's this hot.
Popped up. Foul territory. And that's in the Yankee dugout, and then bounces into the seats.
So far this year, let's take a look at the location of this again. Where you see where Molina was setting up, he ended up on the inside part of the plate. Overbay out in front of his right foot. Nice swing. Lefties have been a problem for Mitre this year. In this game alone, they're 4 for 7, 25 for 50 on the year. We have 5 starts or 500 on the season.
5 home runs hit in this game so far. 3 by the Yankees, 2 by Toronto. Missed outside, 2-2. And the pitch. Missed again, 3-2. Mitre's pitch count getting up there. That was his 95th pitch of the night. We have him at 94. Okay, 57 strikes, 37 balls. 3-2. Foul straight back here into our booth. Still full. Again, Mitre deals the 3-2. Grounded to short. Jeter's there. And that'll do it. Here in the 5th, but 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. The Blue Jays take the lead on 1 swing. Lyle Overbay went up against the back wall of the Yankee bullpen. Mitre knows it. By 1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning on the Lexus scoreboard. Mark Teixeira will lead off. And the pitch outside from Sean Camp. 1-0. Alfredo Aceves begins to warm in the Yankee bullpen. And a strike. Count 1-1. There's Alfredo. Grounded foul. Three infielders on the right side for the lefty swinging Teixeira. And he doesn't swing as he takes a called 3rd strike for the first out of the 5th. Painted the black.
Again, that little sinker that comes back at, kind of freezes you as a left-handed hitter, throw it at your front hip, and you run it back over the inside corner. A pitch to control, because you cannot miss with that pitch out over the plate because you'll get hurt. You know, Michael, the more I think about the tonight and then in the last series, you know, if you're a season ticket holder and you've been here for the last 4 or 5 games, you've seen everything. You've seen close games, dramatic home runs, you've seen slugfest. I mean, you've seen a lot of baseball a lot of different ways it could be played in this homestand.
The first game was a slugfest. Obviously, a pitcher's duel in the second game. A great pitching performance in the third game. Clutch hitting, clutch home runs in the fourth game. And now you're seeing a little slugfest tonight. 5 home runs. Yankees and the Blue Jays. And the 0-1 to A-Rod outside, 1-1.
Well, we talked about it at the Open about how after such a great series that you can have that hangover effect. And I don't believe that this team is in position to have a hangover effect because of how well they're playing and the desire and the situation that had played out last year. Even if you want to extend it, this is a driven team. Obviously, it's built to win, but I just see most all of the components of this team on all cylinders.
I'll tell you one thing that you don't think about. See A-Rod take that ball in. Is when I played with the Cincinnati Reds, our big rival way back were the Dodgers. And you'd have a weekend series against the Dodgers, and there'd be 40,000 people in the stands. And then they would leave town, and the next series would be against Atlanta, and you'd have 10,000 people in the stands. So, New York is so good at that. You show up, you play in front of 45,000 people every night. And as a player, as soon as you walk out under those lights in front of the excitement, I mean, it makes you want to go out and win and play every day.
Hot shot and a base hit. Alex Rodriguez now 7 for 15 lifetime against Kent. Paul, that's a great point. We were talking, Al and I did a segment at the beginning of the game about the natural letdown. And we'll see how Alex redirects this pitch into left field. But there is no letdown when there are 45,000 people in this. There can't be. There's too much energy.
It's very, you're right. You talk about it. It's very easy to feel energy when you come out to see this stadium lit up in front of 45, 50,000 people, and it's very easy to go out and get ready to play a baseball game.
Now, the possibility of a letdown would have been if, in fact, they were playing in Toronto and there were 20,000 people. Now, Joe Girardi is going to talk with Joe West. Don't know what's up here. And they're looking behind home plate. Not quite sure what they're looking at. Looks like they're going to call upstairs somewhere.
Something behind home plate they were calling.
That's what they're waiting on. So Joe West saw something.
Almost wonder if it was the white sign behind home plate that maybe the fielders are having trouble picking up the ball.
Now the third base umpire, Ed Rapuano, is going to talk with Brian Butterfield.
I think it's the white sign. I really do.
You mean the rotating signboard?
Yeah.
Coming out of the hitting zone, fielders to get a jump on the ball. They see the ball at impact and they can't take the depth perception because of the sign, maybe.
Well, they're keeping it white. They're not rotating to another sign. Nothing discernible changed, and now Posada's in the box. Now 1-0. Yankees trail 5-4, bottom of the fifth inning. And the count 2-0. Bottom of the fifth inning at Fenway, 5-3. Red Sox lead the Tigers. Grounded to Overbay. He's going to tag A-Rod. Smart play, and he gets the double play. A 3-1 double play. How often do you see that? A-Rod stopped dead because he wanted the throw to be made to second. But Overbay didn't bite. He said, okay, I'll just tag him and I'll flip to you. End of the inning. Fresh brewed cup of coffee, and yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. W.B. Mason, who but? Well, we go to the 6th inning here at the stadium, and the Blue Jays lead the Yankees 5-4. And the Yankees turn it over to Alfredo Aceves. His numbers speak for themselves. This will be his 30th game, 7-1, 3.38. 1 save. And his whip is just a little bit over 1, which is outstanding. 55 base runners in 53 and a third innings. And 44 strikeouts. Not too bad.
12 walks and 53rd and a third. That is great. Makes him put it in play.
He and Phil Hughes were not available last night. That's why the Yankees stayed with Phil Koch, who gave up the home run to Victor Martinez. Jose Bautista fouls it off.
Comment on the whip.
I think it's a great stat. Of all the stats, and I know we're inundated with it, I think it says a lot as far as a guy keeping his hits down and his walks down. You look at somebody who keeps his hits down, walks down, and combines it with a strikeout per inning. I'll show you a top 10 guy in the league.
I'm going to start looking at the whip.
Look at the whip. I'm telling you, your top guys, that whip's right around 1. Yeah. I'm leery of a lot of stats, but I believe in that one.
Now, whip, for those that don't know, is walks plus hits per innings pitched, and per 9 innings pitched. And if you have it under 1 whip, it's it's Mariano Rivera like. What was your best whip? Do you know offhand?
2. Hey, you add a lot of walks and sprinkle, even if you had 6-7 hits through the 7 or 8 innings, but you had 4 or 5 walks. Now you have 10, 12, 13 base runners in 7 innings. Unless you strike a lot of guys out, you're depending on a lot of defense, and they're not all CNI singles.
The one thing, we got the wind whipping up here, and that usually means things are going to change in your weather report, Mike.
That's your whip.
That's right.
Well, the flags over the left field grandstand are whipping from left to right now. And it has kicked up. Now the flag's out there in left center, whipping straight in. And Encarnacion pops one up, and the wind is taking that ball. Jeter runs it down for the second out. And look at his eyes as if to say, Cano, you better be out here. Time for another look at tonight's Toyota Text Poll. Once again, the question, which starter had the best performance of the weekend? You've been voting at 58-772, and here are the results. 51% thought it was A.J. Burnett with the one hit over 7 2/3, although he did walk, I believe, 5 batters. CC Sabathia gets 38%, and Andy Pettit 11%. They all didn't allow a run, so it's neither here nor there. Two-way, and here's Rod Barajas. And there's a strike. Now, Al, your 98 season, your best whip was 1.150, which is really good.
Pretty darn good.
I can't believe it.
Pretty happy about that, aren't you?
That's a good whip.
My hit standings were good. The walks, really. I mean, if you could teach a kid at any level, and it's not easy because I couldn't do it, but throw strikes, believe in your defense, get ahead, trust your stuff, all that stuff that Little League coaches will tell pitchers right on up. But it's true, because you end up creating offense for the opposing team.
I hear you tell the same kids in Little League the same thing.
Yeah.
They're talking in the dugout. Throw the ball over the plate. Trust your defense. We'll pick you up.
High fly ball, left field. Hairston will put it away, and that's a 9-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Alfredo Aceves. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees trailing 5-4. Time now for a word from our friends at the Fox Business Network. In part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Now, there is rain in the forecast. So, you want to get a run or two if you're the Yankees. It's an official game right now, so you certainly don't want to have a rain-shortened loss. So, Robinson Cano will start off against Sean Camp. And there's strike. So it was hot, it was humid and muggy all day, but now it actually feels cooler with the wind whipping in. But the general thought is that the wind is bringing in some rain. Lined into left center field, it is a base hit. He's been on fire. Vernon Wells cuts it off, but he's off balance, so Cano will go to second with a double.
Mentioned about how you pitch to Robinson Cano. This is when you know as a pitcher that you're not in a good position, because when he does just that, stays on the baseball, doesn't try to pull off. What happened is his previous at bat, he got a fastball inside, he spun on it, hit a home run. Here, that ball's sinking away. This is a great hitting approach by knowing that you make a good pitch as a pitcher, and he just drives that ball to left center field. Nice hitting.
Yeah, you got to figure his last at-bat home run on an inside fastball from a lefty. All of a sudden, you know, now you're facing a bullpen guy, kind of sinks the ball. You got to change your approach to hitting, which he did. Went out, shot that sinker away, left center field.
Overbay charging, but the Yankees are not bunting as Hairston fouls it away. Cano has 2 hits, his 47th multi-hit game of the year. So the Blue Jays thought sure that Hairston was going to be bunting, but Girardi let him swing away. Now Overbay will back up. Edwin Encarnacion is in the cutout at third. Now he does show bunt, pitch outside. Saw some lightning over the Yankee Stadium sign in left center field.
All right, weatherman, does the rain come from the north or the west here? Because in Westchester, my wife Texas says it's raining.
Well, then if it's going to happen here, it's coming from the north.
It doesn't come from one direction, you're telling me?
Fouled away.
Now it's just fight, protect mode. He tried that bunt the second pitch. Now obviously with 2 strikes, he's just going to try to put the ball in play on the right side. You know, and you watch Camp, you know, he realizing what Hairston's trying to accomplish here. He's just pounding him inside. Make Hairston force the ball to go to the right side. In doing so, he'd have to fight it off from the inner third and go the other way, as opposed to making it easier. Camp would be by throwing it on the outside part of the plate.
Hairston does have 7 sack bunts this year, but he's not bunting with 2 strikes. Right back to Camp, so he doesn't get the job done. And Camp gets the out of first. So Girardi elects not to have him bunt, trying for a bigger inning. And it's just an out, an unproductive out. Here's Melky Cabrera. Melky 4 for his last 27. Still hitting .280 though. Count 1-0. And a strike, count 1-1. Sign of a windy night. Plastic bags blowing across the field. Makes you think of Candlestick Park. Got so windy at Candlestick Park once that during an All-Star game, Stu Miller was blown off the mound.
It was the weirdest thing. You would go out for batting practice, and I'm telling you, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it was absolutely beautiful, sunny. And by game time, 7:30, the fog would roll in, the wind would start blowing. It was just like a tale of 2 cities, all in the same. You never pitched there?
Yeah, yeah.
Now Horace Stoneham, who owned the New York Giants, and the only way the Dodgers could go to LA was to bring along another team, so that you have 2 teams out there, so it would be worth a road trip for everybody else. They took out Horace Stoneham and brought him to Candlestick Point in the afternoon, and he never asked to see it at night. So in the afternoon, as Paul said, it's gorgeous. So I said, yeah, this is the place for me. And the rest is baseball history. pitches high. And the count 3-2. On deck is Jose Molina.
Now with Cano at second base, after a period of time, the runners will try to pick some sequence up. And you see Barajas, he'll tap his chest or his helmet to change the signs. That way the signs are constantly moving. So you flip at different fingers, but he changes the sequence.
Still 3-2.
Can't throw that. I mean, he's got a sinker, and you can tell by his arm angle his fastball is going to sink. But he also has that slider, that cutter that he's throwing in there, and that ball continues to bore in on lefties.
You know, he drops down it there. You see the sequence there. Now, whatever they decide on, first tap, second tap, now that'll determine which of those fingers down.
Tap slowly. Encarnacion fields. Got him. As Cano moves to third. Good play by Encarnacion to get Melky.
You said it, Michael, this is a do or die. If you fumble this ball or any kind of problem in the exchange, he comes up with it. There's a bullet, and you've got one opportunity to make everything go right there. And Melky's safe. Nice play.
Good effort by Camp. Smooth, all in one motion. Watch Encarnacion just flips it up quickly. Good transfer. Bang, bang. Nice play.
Looking at that play, if Camp comes up with that ball, he'll never get up to throw him out. So he almost caught a break by not drawing leather on that play.
Camp seems like he's shaking up. Blue Jay trainer and Brian Butterfield out there. And they're going to have a Camp throw pitch. Landed hard on that right knee.
He definitely caught a break, Paul. He makes that play. There's no chance of making throwing out Melky.
Brandon League, hard-throwing right-hander, ready in the Blue Jay bullpen. Here's Jose Molina. He's 0 for 2. And a strike. Hit 39 pitches for Camp. See on the left shoulder, named Ted. That's for Ted Rogers, the owner of the Blue Jays that passed away before the season. Ground ball is short. Scudero across the diamond, and that's going to do it. So the leadoff double by Cano wasted. Yankees 0 for 5 tonight with runners in scoring position. They strand one. We go to the 7th, 5-4 Toronto. For the Yankees as they close out this series with the Blue Jays. Coverage starts at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Al Leiter, Paul O'Neill, and I have the call. Blue Jays, Yankees, Wednesday, starting at 12:30. It's only on Yes. We move to the 7th inning here at Yankee Stadium. They're in a rain delay in Baltimore. The A's lead the Orioles 5-0. Smirnoff scoreboard 5-4. Blue Jays lead the Yankees. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Blue Jay order against Alfredo Aceves. Starting with Joe England. Aceves worked a 9-pitch 1-2-3-6. That one is hammered foul. England tripled in a run in the 4th inning.
England, who had a nice year for the Blue Jays last year, was sent down, spent most of this year in the minor leagues. They tried Russ Adams and David DeLucci. Didn't work out.
Drag bunt and caught on a line by Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira has done so much. We talked about defensively, but these are the plays. Does he have to dive for this ball? Probably not. But a lot of times when you leave your feet, keep your ball, keep your eye level the same on the ball. It's a lot easier play instead of reaching forward. Robinson Cano probably asking the same thing.
Now, Johnny Damon said after yesterday's game something that really rings true about Teixeira. He said, you saw the stats, you'd see him when you played him, and you'd go, wow, it's a pretty good player. And you don't realize how good he is until you watch him play every single day. And that is the feeling you get about Teixeira. Fly ball, shallow left, coming on Hairston. 2 away.
Talked about Harrison Jr., how he can help you in so many ways. Infielder, outfielder, can pinch hit, can run. Really the perfect little piece that the Yankees could add this time of the year.
Especially with Brett Gardner going down. Right. Versatility lost in the outfield with Gardner not being able to play center field.
His natural position was second base, right?
I think so, yes.
Baltimore?
Yes.
Pitch to Hill is outside, 1-0. And the count 1-1. Line drive, left field, a base hit off the bat of Hill. So he's 2 for 4. First hit off of Alfredo Aceves.
See, Aaron Hill, when he makes contact, I mean, we talked about his home run numbers, but when he hits the ball, he hits it hard. He's not one of those guys that kind of feel for the ball.
Here's Adam Lind. Lind at 1 for 3, singled in the 1st inning, fly to right, and then grounded to second base. Nice catch.
Snagged.
Count 0-1.
Well, we talked earlier about how Alex Rios, good young player, 28 years old, basically given away for contract unload. Scott Rowland. When you're the Blue Jays and their fan base, you got to hope you have somebody to look forward to. And certainly Adam Lind and Aaron Hill are 2 of the main pieces of this team as they go forward.
You know what's sad, though? If they were going to make a trade strictly or get rid of a guy strictly because of talent, they'd much rather get rid of Wells than Rios. But Wells is practically untradeable. Nobody would put a claim in for him if I'm sure they've tried to get him through waivers. So this was an opportunity for them to dump $13 million a year for the next 5 years. And they did. And they gave away a really good player. Great, no, but a really good player.
Got to figure it. In the offseason, Roy Halladay's going to be their ticket to pick up a couple good prospects if they end up trading him. I mean, he's a guy that, he's a #1 starter for any team in baseball, so he could bring in some really good young talent. to try to help this team rebuild quick.
Line drive, a base hit to right field. So Lynn picks up a single. He's 2 for 4 as Aaron Hill stops at second. And that'll bring up Overbay. Overbay's the difference in this game right now. His home run in the 5th inning gave the Blue Jays a 5-4 lead.
See, Aceves leaving an curveball up in the zone. Hits it hard. Aceves has a good breaking ball, but when you leave that thing up in the zone, Overbay's last, we talked about how long this went last time up, so you don't want to miss into him.
Overbay 2 for 2 with a walk. The pitch outside. Top of the 7th inning here at the stadium. Toronto 5, New York 4. Yankees have a 7-game winning streak on the line. Just played a scintillating 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox, taking all 4. High fly ball, deep left. Hairston in front of the track will put it away for the final out of the 7th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch.
A silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
And the Yankees are leading this one. Chucky, so used to saying that the Yankees are trailing this one 5-4 on the Smirnoff scoreboard. 5-8-2 for Toronto and 4-9-1 for the Yankees. Toronto brings in a new pitcher, hard-throwing right-hander Brandon League, and he'll face the top of the Yankee order as the Yankees are trying to get a run before the rain starts or before the game runs out. And League deals. There's a strike. Those are League's numbers. 47 strikeouts in 50 innings. 47 hits. Got good numbers. 4.86 ERA. Count 1-1.
Now the ERA is kind of high for Brandon League, who just saw 97 mile-an-hour fastball. This guy has got closer stuff. It's a matter of mistakes in the zone. He's only got 14 walks.
It's hard to believe he hasn't been a closer yet, but there has to be something because he throws hard.
Yeah, I hate to keep going back to the same thing, Michael, but when you got a guy like this, and Paul can help on this, is that when you have a power arm like this, 95 to 100, and really his most consistent pitch that he could throw for strikes is his fastball. Guys sit on the fastball.
Line drive, a base hit. Jeter now 3 for 4, so a good start to the 7th inning.
You know, it's funny because you'll get scouting reports on some guys, and you know, velocity of the fastball is 95, 97. You're thinking, wow, but then you get up to hit against it. It's a changeup up in the zone. And sometimes you just see the ball well off guys, and it doesn't seem like they throw that hard. And you see the changeup, and Cheat stays right on that ball, drives it up the middle.
Let's take a look at the IOTV HD Super Shot.
That's when it really looks easy. You see that in slow motion? You see Jeet staying right with that ball. Good piece of hitting.
League has appeared just once since August 1st, and he was shelled in that game. That was against Baltimore. 1 inning, 4 hits, and 3 runs. This is Jeter's 12th 3-hit game of the season. Let's see if Swisher bunts Jeter over to second. He's not bunting. Now, if you do that, obviously, you're going to lose Mark Teixeira's bat. But then you have Alex Rodriguez come up with 2 runners on. They would probably intentionally walk Teixeira after you bunt Jeter over to second. And the 0-1. Late on that one, 96 miles an hour, fouled it back. 0-2.
Watch Jeter hit a changeup up the middle, hanging changeup. 96, 97. We're talking about the correlation of a high ERA. Yes, you still have to throw other pitches, but when you're just beating a guy like that on 96, 97, a changeup would do a guy a favor right here. Well, there's a changeup.
And the 0-2. Got him.
Something nasty one in the
That
dirt.
was a little better than the ones Derek saw. Paul, you know, change up in the zone. This
like a
ball had
split.
great movement down and in.
Well, not at home, not a problem. New York Yankee fans can watch live Yes Network games on their PCs and laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer who watches Yes, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Here's Mark Teixeira. He is 1 for 3. Al, if I remember correctly, when you first came out with the Yankees, you threw in your upper 90s, right? Yeah. I mean, did you want to fall in love with throwing that pitch all the time?
Yes. And what happens, well, for a lot of guys that throw real hard, they usually don't have great command as far as corners and, you know, moving the ball in and out. They think outer half, inner half, or even thirds. And usually, if you throw in the 95 or better, their secondary pitch isn't often thrown for called strikes. And I think that was the big thing with A.J. Burdett, how that transformed for him, is that he's able to throw his curveball, which is unhittable at times, for called strikes. And I think that's what hitters identify with. Can he throw his off-speed pitch for a called strike? Not like that last one, Swisher swung at the ball in the dirt.
Now, Teixeira has faced League 4 times. He has 2 hits. Okay. Both hits home runs. So he knows that. League probably knows that. Let's see how this at-bat plays out. Now, Paul, who threw the hardest of any pitcher ever faced?
Well, velocity-wise, Nolan Ryan did. But, for me, Randy Johnson did, because I didn't pick up the ball as well, because he's a big, tall lefty, and then you pick up the ball late. So, Randy Johnson was a guy that I felt at times I had absolutely no chance of hitting because I couldn't pick up the ball quick enough. That was in his heyday. And then, Nolan Ryan, he felt like he was throwing hard. He was grunting and snorting and just everything at you.
1-2. Strike 3 to Sheridan looking. He struck out the last 2 times on that pitch right on the inside corner.
See, he almost held his breath here. Got a late call from the umpire. That two-seamer running back out over the near right, Michael. That's the exact same pitch. Just runs back and nips the inside corner.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez is 1 for 2 tonight with a walk. And you are 0 for 10 against Nolan Ryan, Paul, with 5 strikeouts.
Couldn't see the ball real well.
Alex has had 5 go-ahead home runs in the 7th inning. We told you the stat a little earlier. 7th inning or later, and that's the most by a Yankee since Constantino Martinez in 1997 also had 5 that year. Jesse Carlson warming for the Jays, the 1-0. I'm just amazed that a guy that throws 98 just can't throw it right down the middle and get people out, because they've come up with this fact that if a guy's throwing 90, the batter has 44/100% of a second to make up his mind and swing the bat. That's 90. So if you're at 98, it shows you how unbelievable hitters are, that they could pull the trigger on 98 and still hit the ball squarely. That's why I believe that there's no singular thing harder to do in all sports than to hit a baseball.
Hard for hit.
Right.
Well, you see that doesn't play true. You see Johnny Damon, what, a 98 mile-an-hour fastball last night?
A-Rod off of Lester, 95 down the zone. You know what, you could explain better than I can. It's a matter if they eliminate other pitches and they just absolutely sit fastball. You're right. It's 0.4 of a second for 90 miles an hour. They just click it a little sooner. That front foot goes down a little sooner. Maybe cheat a little. Get the bat head out. Not easy, but that's what they do.
Breaking ball, strike 3. A-Rod fires his bat away in disgust. That's an impressive inning for Brandon Lee. Yeah, he gave up the hit to Jeter, but he struck out Swisher, struck out Teixeira, struck out Alex Rodriguez, and A-Rod went down looking. And we go to the 8th inning. It is 5-4 Blue Jays. Deals to Vernon Wells, who fouls it back. 5-8-2, beating 4-10-1. That was an impressive inning for Brandon Lee. ball strike. Wells 1 for 3 today. He goes down swinging. Now this is all well and good. Aceves coming in and pitching this well, but if you're going to use him 3 innings, that means you can't use him tomorrow, probably the day after that. So that's why you need more than 5 innings out of Mitre.
Well, this is what your long man does in the event that your starting pitcher doesn't go 5 or more. Certainly you'd like to see your 5th starter go at least into the 6th.
But that's the thing, Al. He's not the long man. I mean, this guy's good enough, and he's pitched the 8th innings. He can give them late. He's not the long man.
But if you keep going 3 innings, his last appearance was 3 innings on Friday night, 37 pitches.
I know. But if you don't have a Aceves ready when Hughes can't go like last night, well, then you have to use Coke, and I'm not sure Coke is as good an 8th inning guy as Aceves is.
What are we doing here? Wow.
Shattered bat, grounded to Jeter, and Bautista's out. Well, tonight throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the 3 of us here in the booth for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Derek Jeter, number 2, Robinson Cano, number 3, Aaron Hill, number 4, Lyle Overbay. You can vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Again, text us at 58772 with your vote. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. And the Tigers have tied the Red Sox 5-5, top of the 7th inning. Red Sox need a win in the worst way. High fly ball, deep left. Wynn holds it up as Hairston puts it away. A 9-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Alfredo Aceves. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Blue Jays lead the Yankees 5-4. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards, starring Brad Pitt in theaters August 21st, by your New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut Lexus dealers, and by Avis, the official rental car company of the Yankees. A crowd of 46,376 here at the ballpark. And they're watching the Blue Jays lead the Yankees 5-4, bottom of the 8th inning. Posada, Cano, and Jerry Hairston Jr. So far, the rain has held up, but Paul gets reports that it's raining in Westchester. I'm getting reports it's raining in Long Island. So we're smack dab in the middle.
Get that little window, that little dry window to play baseball.
Here's Jorge Posada. Pitch outside. Jesse Carlson, the new pitcher for the Jays. Last 7 games, he's pitched to a 7.50 ERA. 4th pitcher used by the Jays. Posada fouls it back. Overall, Posada hitting .281, but he likes hitting here in Yankee Stadium this year. .326, 10 homers and 28 ribbies. Those are the numbers on Carlson. About a hit per inning. 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. And a strike.
George, he hit the first home run here opening day?
Yes, he did.
Something you can never take away, right?
And Jose Molina hit the last home run in the old Yankee Stadium. Foul ball. And Duke Sims, another catcher, hit the last home run at the old Yankee Stadium back in '73.
Curveball. Jorge battling to try to stay in this at bat. You almost get the feeling, though, as good as the Yankees are playing, and something's just about to happen, and that's the fans feel it, the players feel it, the opposing teams feel it.
Late swing, and he lines it foul.
Good punch, 2-strike swing. See Posada fooled and making sure that he doesn't wave at a breaking ball out of the zone, but is able to stay on it and foul off a tough breaking ball. He's up in the zone.
Now he tries down the left field line with foul.
Coverage away, staying back on the breaking ball away, and then is able to clear and turn on Carlson's fastball inside, who doesn't throw very hard. So as a pitcher, you're not sure which way you want to go here. Looks like he's going with the fastball.
All that.
You feel it, Paul, when you miss a pitch, or you got a location that you was getting it and you just foul it back?
This at bat right here, I mean, Georgie, with 2 strikes, you almost get the feeling that Carlson doesn't have anything to really put him away here. And as a pitcher, it's got to be kind of frustrating. You just know as a batter you want to stay in that strike zone. Don't go out of the strike zone. Right there, good take. Don't go out of the strike zone. Make him throw you a strike because you've shown that you can cover everything he's got. That's what Carlson did, is try to come out of the zone. Good take by Georgie.
Along with Paul O'Neill and Al Leiter, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball here on Yes. We thank you for spending part of your Monday evening with us. 5-4, Toronto leads New York. Bottom of the 8th, Posada fouls it off. Yankees have had 3 homers in the game: Jeter, Cano, and Hairston. And the Blue Jays have had 2 homers: Aaron Hill and Lyle Overbay. Overbay's home run in the 5th inning. The difference in this game broke a 4-4 tie. 10 pitch at bat so far. Number 11 coming up. Still 2-2.
This is where Posada knows there's two pitches that Carlson's throwing. A fastball that isn't enough to get by him, and a little slider. And as Paul said, so long as Posada won't swing at the pitch out of the zone, he's got it covered on both sides. This is a great at-bat right here.
And he got him. So Carlson wins the battle. The last 4 Yankees have struck out. Tonight after the post game, don't miss WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show to get a recap of this past weekend's battle with Boston. Plus, Joe answers your questions submitted on YesNetwork.com. It's the Joe Girardi Show tonight after the post game, and an all-new episode Sunday at 8 only on Yes.
It's a slider that just went down and in. You see the break, late break. Even though I know he struck out, that was a tough at bat all the way around. Carlson ended up making a good pitch there.
Pitch to Cano's outside. Jorge is 0 for 4. Cano is 2 for 3. Cano had a home run off the left-hander Mark Zepchinski, who started the game. And he has 17 homers on the year, 7 of them against Southpaws. Keeping away from Cano, which doesn't ensure that you're going to get him out when he's on. He'll just take that pitch to left field. Also has power that way. Ground ball up the middle. Scutero will get Cano for the second out. Time to take a look at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Jerry Hairston Jr. has come back in the 4th inning. This long home run to left field. It was his first as a Yankees, 2 for 3 on the night. The double that at the time tied the game up 4-4. Jerry Hairston, the Land Rover drive of the game.
How about this maneuver by Joe Girardi? He's going to send up the lefty swinging Johnny Damon against left-hander Jesse Carlson. And the reason for that, Damon is 2 for 2 lifetime against Carlson. Johnny with that big home run last night that tied the game. Turned around a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And then Mark Teixeira put the Yankees ahead to stay with a home run of his own, back-to-back. And the pitch is low and inside. Turns on an outside pitch and grounds it out softly to Overbay for the final out of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the 9th. 5. 5-4. Aceves has thrown 30 pitches, so he's in for his 4th inning of work, and the pitch is outside to Barajas. 1-0. 5-8-2, leading 4-10-1. Well, the Yankees win this game. It's going to be in walk-off fashion because they're trailing going into the 9th inning. A little bit of a peculiar decision there by Joe Girardi sending up Damon. High fly ball left field, and Damon is there. He'll make the play, especially when you consider that Hairston had hit a home run. Now 2 for 2 is 2 for 2. I understand that, but it's certainly not a wide body of work that you go, wow, he really owns him the way he used to own Buddy Groom or something like that. But he decided that was when he was going to use Damon to pinch it.
You know, I guess as a manager, every once in a while you just do things on gut feelings, and you just think that Johnny Damon coming off the bench is going to give you a good at bat there. He did, you know, he's been swinging the bat well.
Here's Joe Englert. Pitch upstairs.
Well, Carlson, for left-handed specialist, he really hasn't really has much disparity in the batting average against 268 left-handers, 273 right-handers. And I don't think Michael, the 2 at bats is not even close to enough body of work to know whether he's done well against him or not. Just not enough.
Well, obviously, Johnny has his home run swing working, and maybe Joe's thinking like that. The 1-1. Soft ground ball towards second. Cano. 2 outs. Time to take a look at the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance.
Probably go back to the 5th inning, a 3-2. As I talk, watch how far this one goes off the sign out there in right field. I all over back. Long run back there.
That is our play of the game. Hey, let's give some appreciation out to the way Aceves is pitching. I mean, the guy is entering his 4th inning of work, 2 outs already. Last 6 out, Aceves has gotten on 3 pitches or less. Pitch to Scudero is outside.
But you're right, Michael. I mean, now you've lost him for the series. I mean, the next 2 days he's definitely out, and then you're going to have a day off. So, you know, you're rolling the dice that you can come back because you're spending one of your bullpen guys for the series.
No, but you know, he was certainly spent tomorrow, but by giving him this extra inning, not having anyone else to get up and worry about anything other than relaxing.
Well, obviously
like
not worrying. Look at you.
That doesn't hurt his back. It's too long. That way, everyone else got a day off, and you're right. Aceves did a heck of a job. This could be a 4-inning relief appearance. Saved some arms, kept the team in it.
I wonder when he pitches like this, though, if they start to think, you know, why don't we put him in the rotation? They tried once before, but he's so valuable out of the bullpen that many people think that start in Minnesota cost them at least one of the games in Anaheim because they didn't have him to use.
Yeah, but down the road, I mean, what made that Boston series so different was this bullpen.
Right.
And down the road, when you get into big games, and especially in the playoffs and short series, you don't worry about a 5th starter. You worry about your big guns, and you worry about that bullpen getting to Mariano. So I don't think you mess with a good thing coming out of that bullpen.
And the 3-2 popped up. Quite a performance by Alfredo Aceves. He pitched 4 shutout innings. Now it's up to the Yankees. Last licks coming up. Can they do it? Can they come back again? Do they have another walk-off in their bones? Cabrera, Molina, and Jeter. We'll see. complete wrap-up of this first game of the series against the Blue Jays, and also a look around the majors. Plus, Kimberly Jones will talk to the players in the clubhouse. It's the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame that's only on Yes. By 5-4, Toronto leads the Yankees. And Toronto will bring in its closer, Jason Frazier. He's going to face Cabrera, Molina, or a pinch hitter, and Jeter. And those are Frazier's number. 4 saves for him. They released B.J. Ryan, who used to be their closer. Good numbers there. And a whip under 1.
28 hits in the 40 innings. That is very good. He's now assumed the closer role.
Well, the first Yankee he'll face is Melky Cabrera. Check out Melky Cabrera's numbers in the 9th inning. 14 for 29. 483 this year. So the Yankees need a base runner. And on deck is Hideki Matsui. He'll pinch hit for Molina. Some pretty good lefties have coming off the bench. Damon, Matsui, Pinsky. And the righty deals. Strike. And the 0-1. Grounded foul. Quickly 0-2. Yankees led in this game 1-0. Tied the game at 4-4. Then an Overbay home run made it 5-4 in the 5th, and that's where we stand. Chopped up the middle. Scudero there quickly. And there's one away. So that will send up Matsui as a pinch hitter for Molina. Frazier's had 10 straight scoreless appearances, so the Yankees trying to change that.
Well, this is a direct matchup. Matsui's done very well against the Blue Jays in his career, but this against Frazier, 545 batting average, 6 for 11 with a home run. That's a considerable amount of at bats, especially for a reliever. He's owned Frazier.
A strike.
You see Matsui's reaction there. That's kind of that ball you're stepping out thinking, all right, I'm ahead in the count.
The 0-1. 0-2. Tampa Bay leads the Angels 2-0 top of the 1st inning. Boston has jumped ahead of Detroit 6-5 top of the 8th inning. In that game, Tigers have runners on 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs in the top of the 8th as the Red Sox trying to hold on to that 1-run lead.
Well, win or lose, Terry Francona, the manager up there, has got to think at least on scoring some runs tonight. I mean, they went through that horrible scoreless streak here. Get back to Fenway Park. Sometimes when you get back to your home stadium, it's like those bats awaken again.
Well, they want that game so badly, they're now bringing in Jonathan Papelbon. We got the final out of the 8th and then the 3 in the 9th. 1-2. Line drive, a base hit for Matsui. Blue Jays outfielders playing very deep. No doubles defense, and They prevented one right there. But a pinch single for Matsui, and now Ramiro Pena will pinch run.
Well, you know, sometimes as a pitcher, you just overthink things. I mean, it was strike one away, strike two fastball away, and then all of a sudden you're going to trick somebody. You see an elevated off-speed pitch from a guy, especially a guy coming off the bench, giving him an opportunity to just slap it to center field.
And you saw Frazier's reaction. He's kicking himself. Bad location. Obviously mad at, well, the whole result. But, yeah, I agree with you, Paul. You pounded away. You painted fastball 94. And you're doing Matsui a bit of a favor right there with that changeup.
Well, here's Jeter. He's 3 for 4. Pena the pinch runner. He can go. He's taking a chance, though. Many in the crowd on their feet. Many more following. This stadium over the last week or so is starting to find its voice. And the pitch to Jeter. Check swing, foul back. And Nick Swisher is on deck. So is his bat. Outfielders are deep. You want to cut off the extra base hit. That might help Jeter out with a blooper. The 0-1. Foul back.
Tell you what, there, Jeter wants the ball away. I mean, especially in a situation like this where he could try to drive the ball to right center. This ball is exactly where he's looking. And once in a while, as a pitcher, Al, you got to realize, man, I got away with one.
Give me the ball back. You're right. That was a mistake location-wise. Boy, that was a good swing. Okay, Frazier better watch Pena. He's 3 for 4 stolen base attempts, and Frazier's 4 of 6 runners have been successful still.
Count 1 and 2.
It's kind of the difference with Pena when you put him in there. You put him in as a pinch runner for a guy that, you know, it's got good wheels. He'd probably score on a double. But it's such a difference when you pinch run when you have Brett Gardner at your disposal as a pinch runner. He would steal a base. I mean, he went in to steal a base instead of just being a little quicker base runner.
Yankees trying to rally in the bottom of the ninth. Slow chopper towards Scudero. And he makes the out at second. Gutsy play by Scudero to get the lead runner for the second out as Jeter reaches. Not many shortstops would even try that. Although that's the tying run, they would have taken the sure out at first.
Again, this is kind of an in-between play, in-between hop. You know you're not going to turn two, so you got to get one. Scudero makes his mind up there, and you see Pena.
Looked like he looked over at Scudero. I agree, Michael. That was gutsy, but watch at the very end here. Scudero, it looked like Pena was looking to see if he was throwing to first or not. I didn't think he had a chance to go to second.
That leaves it up to Nick Swisher. Nick is 1 for 3 with a sac fly. Nick has 18 home runs, but only 3 here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees down to their final out, bottom of the ninth inning, trailing by 1. Jeter with good speed at first base. Outfield still very deep. Bautista almost on the warning track in right field. Anything over his head would be a game-winning 2-run home run.
That's about the deepest right field I think I've ever seen played. He's almost standing on the warning track.
But does that make sense, Paul? I mean, he's guarding against something that he can't catch.
It's really, I mean, you understand playing deep, no doubles, but I mean, you got to give yourself some credit for being able to get back on the ball more than 10 feet, huh?
That's what he's guarding. And if it's over his head, it's over the wall.
He's guarding against the one that lands out in here.
He can still get it between outfielders, but it's got to be a rocket. outside. 1-0. So the Yankees' 7-game winning streak is on the line. Swisher's already had a walk-off home run this year against Detroit. That was last year, I'm sorry, when he was with Chicago. Has not had one with the Yankees. And the 1-0. Blistering fastball right there, 1-1.
And it's a hitter. Sometimes you just freeze and you try to look for that perfect pitch. Always right down the middle. Good pitch to hit.
Courtesy throw to it first. Joe Girardi's team 6.5 games ahead of the Red Sox in the American League East. Winners of 7 in a row, trying to keep it going. Bottom of the 9th inning, 2 outs, runner on first base. And a step off move. Mark Teixeira on deck. Alex Rodriguez after him. Missed outside. Swisher has a great eye. He always seems to be 3-2. Leads the Yankees in walks, and he's worked at the 2-1. Crowd now silent, kind of holding its breath. Matsui had a pitch single to get a runner on. The 2-1. Wave and a foul. 2-2.
Well, Mike, you talked about it the other day on how much better Matsui is as a pinch hitter after he went through the National League Series where he got pinch hit after pinch hit, and it seems like he's comfortable in that situation now. What a valuable thing to come out off the bench late in the game. Start things off.
After the final out, stick around for Nancy Newman and the WB Mason postgame for a complete wrap-up of the first game of the series against the Blue Jays. Also a look around the majors, plus Kimberly Jones will talk to the players. It's the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame until then, I guess. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swisher at the plate. And the